So you guys know Spark. We do trivia on Spark. We did our playoff bracket last year on Spark. Over 10,000 people signed up for it, which was bonkers.
That's so many people.
It is. And now we have the February International Ice Hockey Tournament men's bracket challenge.
International Men's Hockey Tournament Bracket Challenge.
It rolls off the tongue, you might even say. Hey, listen, this is going to be really exciting because you not only get to look at Jesse's there. You're going to pick each group because there's 3 of them: Group A, Group B, Group C. You're going to pick who goes where. Jesse, you had a lot of involvement in creating this. So let's talk a little bit about like what you're doing right now. Is you're saying Italy's going to be first in Group B, which I think we all believe is going to happen. France first in Group A, absolutely.
So the fun thing about our International Men's Hockey Tournament Bracket Challenge is the fact that you're going to pick everything in this tournament for this first set of brackets. So we are going to have a playoff bracket for just the elimination round, but first we got to get to that. So you're going to pick the group stage and the actual standings of the entire group stage. You're going to rank all the teams, and then from there you're going to rank the positions. So you're going to say who comes in where they place in each group. So I'll just do it quickly. Finland there, blah blah blah, and then you're going to be able to place the seeding. So I'm going to submit my picks, and that's going to get you to the next round where you can do the overall seeding. And then you can do pick the play-in rounds, because the IOC has made this tournament completely convoluted in that there's a play-in round and then there's a qualification round. It depends on how everything's seeded, but we are giving you the ability to pick everything all the way through, and there's a point system associated with it as well. So then you get to the final round and you get to pick through to who wins actually the gold medal, which is obviously Canada. So that's
Canada
full
will
bracket.
take on its original colonizer, France.
That's a full bracket there for the winner, and that's how you do it. And it's a lot of fun. There will be prizes for these bracket challenges, but you get to pick through the whole thing. Link is in the description to play along.
Steve, who's your sleeper to go to the finals?
Czechia. Right?
If Sweden was healthy. I can't. Can you even call Sweden a sleeper?
No, you can't.
No, you can't.
I don't know if you can call Czechia a sleeper.
Well, Toastal. Baby.
You can't. If you're thinking Canada, USA, Sweden, Finland, Czechia. Out of those 5 teams, I could see any of them in the finals.
Okay.
If you want like
none of those are a sleeper.
If you want a true sleeper, Germany.
Yeah.
That would be wild.
Yeah.
Yes.
They are best of the rest, right?
Yeah.
I think. Switzerland could be.
Used to be Switzerland. I mean,
the German program too, they play together a lot. They play together. Specific system.
Grubauer's had a really good season. And the high-end talent. I mean, you have Leon Draisaitl.
And Timmy Stutz.
And Timmy Stutz, who is crazy in a Team Germany jersey.
So, the other teams we're thinking through then are France, Italy, Denmark, Switzerland, Germany.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think Tim Stutz is the only one in that tournament too who is also in the Summer Olympics for diving. It's amazing. Anyway, check it out. The link is in the description. It's app.spark.fun. And you can check out the International Men's Hockey Tournament in February. No connection. Hey, Julian McKenzie's releasing a book. He's our friend, and he's also very smart and intelligent, and this is going to be great. It's called Black Aces, and he's actually doing an event in Toronto at a different Booklist Cultural Center. We're going to have the link in the description, but he's going to be hanging out with Donovan Bennett and talking about this book and also doing some book signings and stuff like that. You remember Steve did a bunch of that? Well, now Julian's doing a bunch of that. And
I wrote a book. I wrote 2 books.
Yeah. Well, Julian will catch you eventually.
Yeah, this is Julian. Oh, he's such...
You got him doubled up?
Yeah.
He's a better writer, though.
Did you contribute to this book?
He interviewed me for it. I don't know if I made it in.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
On account of... I don't know if I meet the criteria, but we talked about Jerome McGinley and how much I like him.
You love him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you're also a black man, and that makes sense.
Well, you know.
Up there.
Black Aces, Essential Stories from Hockey's Black Trailblazers by Julian McKenzie. In stores and online February 5th. Check it out. And we will see you at a different Booklist Cultural Center next Wednesday.
SDPP, the Steve Dangle Podcast, with your hosts, Steve Dangle, Adam Wilde, and Jesse Blake.
Let's go! All right. Hey, you want to hear some stats, baby? You guys want some
Yeah.
stats? Woo, we love stats. Stats are cool. Sportsnet stats. Still one of the best Twitter accounts out there.
They're so good.
Maple Leafs suffer their first 6-game winless skid since November 9 through 19 in 2019. 9/19/2019. Why is that relevant?
That got Mike Babcock fired.
That's right. That's right. Marc-Andre Fleury, Nick Petan. That was the goal that didn't go in. Yep. And the Maple Leafs allow 45 goals over a 9-game span for the first time since
45 goals over a 9-game span. Maybe the 80s.
You're getting close.
Early 90s.
Early 90s, 1991 to 1992.
Wow.
In December to January. And famously, the Doug Gilmour trade was made just after that.
This is like every stat that follows every stat is they need to do something big.
Yeah.
And or plentiful.
Yep. In the middle of that streak, January 2nd, the Leafs and Flames completed a 10-player swap. Leafs got Gilmour, Rick Natras, Kent Menderville, and Jamie McCowan for Rick Walmsley, the goalie, in exchange for 50-goal scorer Gary Lehman, Craig Berube, Alexander Godnyuk, and Michael Petit, and also goalie Jeff Reese. So that was the major swap. Leafs didn't make the playoffs that year, but the next year went all the way to the Western Conference Final.
Can I give you a stat?
Yeah.
This season, the Leafs have been bad. They've also been good. Now they're bad again. Throughout it all, their last trade was July 17th. It's 197 days ago.
Wow. And that was for whomst?
That was Dakota Joshua.
Wow. All right.
And the Canucks. They have got a guy off waivers, lost him.
Mm-hmm.
That was Caden Primo. They got a guy off waivers, lost him. That was Sammy Blais. And they got a guy off waivers in Troy Stetcher. And there it is. Like, they haven't even really given anyone off the Marlies an extended run. Except for
Quillen gets like 6
Dennis
minutes.
Hildeby, who they had to.
Yeah, and Jacob Quillen will play 6 or 7 minutes when he gets into the lineup.
Like, can we get a nice headshot of him to put on a milk carton?
He might be AI.
He might be.
Yeah.
He might not really exist.
Might be Tupac's hologram. We're not really sure if Jacob Quillen exists.
See, Josh Levo, like Frevo, was so good.
Yeah.
It was just easy. Like, what do we...
Well, we also had Free Frank Corrado.
Free Frank Corrado, it's the F's, right? He's screwed. His name's not Jacob Frillin, right? Like, I don't know what we do.
Man. Yeah.
Or anyone.
Yeah.
Will Villeneuve. Also, AI. Anyone on the Marlies, AI.
Yeah. Not real.
Henry
not real.
Thrun. Like, they've been the worst. We could go through any number of mistakes or things they could have tried, or they've been the worst defensive team in the league for a very long time. No one got an extended look.
Nope. You know what's interesting, too, is they made 2 defensive depth piece trades at last year's trade deadline. And obviously, both trades are not like, I mean, Scott Lawton, defensive center.
Oh, yeah.
Brandon Carlo, defensive defenseman.
Yeah.
What is interesting, obviously, Fraser Minton played top line, scored last night, is doing extraordinarily well in Boston, is from what I have heard. I have varying sources on what the Leafs thought of Minton before they traded him. And I will be first to tell you that I was told by multiple people, this guy tops out as a third line center. So, you know, a lot of people thought this is what this was going to be.
Tops out as a third line center, what, that year?
Well,
I guess.
The Leafs either did not like Minton, which is what I heard from one person, or did not think he would be ready for this season, which is what I heard from another.
Can I point out something else? So we talk about the first round pick that is going to be a problem. We talked about Fraser Minton, who is already a problem. Do you know that the Leafs gave up something else in that trade?
Yeah, 4th, right? I forgot about
A
that.
4th round pick that the Bruins used to select Vasek Blanar from Vail, Colorado.
Oh, yeah, as you would expect.
Yeah, And he was 100th overall. He is the top scoring defenseman on his Swedish junior team this year.
Oh, cool.
And he's played a cup of coffee in Sweden. So, like, that could be a nightmare, too.
Mm-hmm. Could be.
Listen, I told that very nice anecdote about Brad Treliving. We're done here.
Well, I think there's a few things going on. I think there's Berube, I think there's Treliving, I think there's Pelly, and we can talk about them all. But I think we need to start today not talking about the Seattle game last night. We need to start today talking about a name you probably hadn't heard until yesterday morning when Jonas Siegel put out his article, Dr. Jeremy Bettel. Now, Jonas starts the article off, and we're not going to read the whole article to you. You should read the article. He starts it off with the 2015 hiring of Dr. Bettel. In hiring Bettel, Kyle Dubas said in a statement, Kyle Dubas was not even the general manager. Our sole objective is to be able to have our players know as a program we are doing everything we can in all aspects to optimize their performance and maximize their potential as a hockey player, regardless of what stage of career they're at. The 15-16 Leafs lost the second most man games to injury. Stefan Robidas, obviously 73. Remember? Robidas Island.
Yeah, I think a lot of that was manufactured. But
As in Bettel's second year in charge, they had the second fewest man games lost to injury.
Mm-hmm.
And then third fewest in the 18-19. And, to be honest, even guys like William Nylander has never missed this much time. Ever.
He didn't get hurt until this year.
In 2019, Bettel left to join the Ducks. He was replaced by Rich Rottenberg, who oversaw the Leafs performance department the next 6 seasons. It was not long after Shanahan was dismissed as president, Rottenberg became the director of performance for the Dubas-led Pittsburgh Penguins. They let him go, and they have not made replacements. Now, this story took off like wildfire yesterday. And what I found very interesting is that Brad Treliving saw this, the Leafs saw this and said, we got to get out ahead of this. So what do? Instead of going on to talk about what they're going to do about the losing streak that they're on, they go on the radio to refute this entire article, which tells me...
In the middle of a 5-game losing streak.
Which tells me that they, sure, you want to defend your guys. To me, that smacks of, we got caught with our pants down.
A hit dog will holler.
Sure. And I don't actually know what that means.
I hate it because it makes me picture a dog getting hit.
Yep.
And I don't like it, but I understand what it means.
So to me, in these scenarios, because, and then, Jonas followed up with an article about Brad denying this issue, because Brad's basic argument on the air was, well, we have more than just the top guy. We've got a whole performance staff that's been here the entire time, and and they took over and blah, blah, blah. What I will point you to is the results. We have a goalie go down in early November. Coach says he'll be back within the week. He's not back for 80 days. We don't get any injury updates on even breakages of bones, which we know Scott Lawton has. One of the things that I talked to Frank Corrado about Bettel. When he was a Leaf, he worked with Bettel and with Rottenberg. And he said Bettel's main thing, which passed along to Rottenberg, was groin prep. And I found it interesting.
Hell yeah.
That, we have our best defenseman on the team go out with a neck injury, come back and immediately tear his groin. And, I know the Leafs haven't confirmed that, but they keep saying groin and it might require surgery. So what else am I to deduce?
Isn't Nylander out with a groin injury?
I thought it was, it might be groin. I thought it was ankle. Okay.
I believe it's groin.
Anyway, I wanted to get your reaction, Steve and Jesse, to what this is, because obviously there's 2 sides and then there's the truth. Where do you fall on what Jonas said versus what the Toronto Maple Leafs said?
The next time Jonas is around the Toronto Maple Leafs is going to be genuinely very funny.
Brad said he didn't see him much. He insinuated that he didn't see him much.
Jesse, Jonas is there quite often, is he not?
Did Brad say that?
There was apparently an insinuation about that. It wasn't like out there. I don't think Brad is he's not a vindictive guy.
Brad's pretty tall and Jonas is short.
So
I'd like to hear that. That's crazy. Because Jonas is around the team most game days. Like, he's always there. Yeah. As much as any other reporter who covers the Leafs, Jonas is there.
Now, if you're guys, if you're a total non-believer in the media,
Mm-hmm.
then you might say, well, Jonas did this for the clicks, right? So
I hate that.
And the way it works is that you don't want one article to go supernova. You want every article to be consistent. That's how companies survive. So when you hear, and Brad did sort of mispronounce Bettle's name a little bit on Overdrive, and maybe they didn't work together, whatever. I've met Bettle. I'll tell you about that in a little bit.
Ooh.
But I'm just curious. So you feel, Steve, like what?
Well, I feel like we nailed it last show, and I'll get into where I think the truth is, because we talked about the Leafs kind of being cheap now, and we talked about the idea of, can Rogers own bloody everything? And then 2 articles come out after we released that show. Jonas's article, where he talks about they didn't bring back 2 very important parts of their sports science team, and it's led to a season where, I mean, Bettle is openly talking crap about his former employer, and he's explaining kind of what's going on. And also Rogers is looking to buy, it sounds like, the rest of MLSE, which would give them full 100% control of 10 Toronto sports teams, which is crazy.
A deal that's kind of been in the works since they've bought out Bell. The Tannenbaum side of MLSE has been up for purchase by Rogers till the end of this summer, and they've always had intention to do that, and they're just figuring out all the details on how to do that. There's going to be hundreds of lawyers involved.
Ed Rogers is just, if you're a StarCraft fan, he's the Zerg. If you're a Spider-Man fan, he's friggin' Venom. Like, he just envelops everything. But anyway, I don't want to get sidetracked. Listen, the article does have Bettle toot his horn a little bit, toot his own horn. But the fact remains, they cut corners here. They did. People were like, what do you mean the Leafs are cheap? They spend to the cap. The amount of money the Leafs make, spending to the cap, is very literally the least they could do. How much did they jack prices by again?
10% to season ticket holders.
10%
to everybody.
Beers are $20. You can't get into the building for like less than 150 or something like that. The least they should do is spend to the cap. But then there's all the extras. So I talked about how they have 5 assistant GMs. And again, people are like, how can they be cheap? They have a bloated front office. Yeah, but they're cutting corners with important stuff like this. And some of the stuff regarding them being cheap is the stuff you haven't seen yet. They're refusing to fire guys because firing guys is going to result in them having to pay people not to work for them, and then they're going to have to replace them. Well, this is maybe telegraphing the future a little bit here. Maybe they just don't. Like, I wonder if Brad Treliving gets fired, and then it's like when a team trades their captain. Maybe they just don't have a captain for a while. What if the Leafs just don't have a GM for a while? What if they just have a team of assistants? It's entirely possible.
On this point, Jesse, what do you on the Jonas versus Brad, right? And I'm sure
that's so ridiculous.
It's so funny because Jonas is not a combative guy and neither is Brad. So this is sort of hilarious. But what's your takeaway, I guess?
I think first things, Brad immediately hopping on local radio to talk about this, and then the first 3 questions were about this, and it was an extended period, and then he goes into the team losing and all that. But you know why he did this media hit with Overdrive is because he wanted to refute the story, and that panic there screams to me that something is wrong with the story, in that there's truth there, and they're worried about it and the narrative that's coming out of it. And I think on the Jonas side of this, what a fantastic job by him to unearth this story and talk to these guys, because that's a level of reporting you don't usually see with most guys who are covering teams like this, right? To go that extra step and to give you a behind the scenes on like, hey, why could this be the case in that we are seeing the Leafs more injured than they have been throughout this entire Matthews era? He's providing some sort of answers, and whether you want to say this is directly causation, like this happened and then this happened, that's up to your own interpretation of the article. But there's enough evidence there to say that there's enough evidence there to just show you that something has changed. It has not been the same as it has been pre-Keith Pelly. And there were changes made once he came in. The firing of 80 MLSE employees
this summer.
To our last year around like a couple months from now, so like less than 12 months ago.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
When Keith Pelly did the full purge at the end of last season.
Can I say something from experience? 80 probably not well-paid MLSE employees.
Well, two of them were. Ujiri and Shanahan were.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, those
Part of
two,
the
yeah.
But like, because he came in and he did the Rogers thing that the three of us know because we all worked for Rogers, and they want to streamline their business. And streamlining to them is just making the little number at the bottom of the pay sheet smaller. You know, it's just making less jobs so they're not paying as many people. And you got to think some of that goes into their decision making for this team, and there's a trickle down effect. That's the only way I can interpret the changes they made, because those are true. Yeah, like that's not. He didn't make that part of it up. He talked to people who are in charge of these players and the medical staff. He said, those guys, the two gentlemen in the article, they said our jobs were really important. We talked to the coaching staffs. We made really important decisions. They outlined the Joffrey Lupul decision, which was, I think, great insight.
I've never 10 years we haven't known.
No, and it just illustrated the importance of these jobs, and whether Brad wants to say like, okay, the guys there are doing the same role and with different titles, that's okay, but you get still let go of a lot of people whose important jobs were to maintain the competitiveness of your hockey team, and those people aren't there anymore.
The statement at the bottom of the article is very interesting, and I know you guys will love this, because how many times have we as former employees heard this? Last March, however, Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment, under the leadership of Keith Pelly, cut 80 jobs, and later in the spring chose not to replace Shanahan, and Masai Ujiri was fired soon after. Keith Pelly said, "We will, just like any other business, evaluate all facets of the organization in terms of how we utilize resources. We have all the resources here to be a championship team, but it's using the resources the right way." And, you know, that may even be true. But my concern, having worked under these guys, is I'm not convinced they know how to deploy said resources. I never doubted when I worked there that Rogers had money. I always doubted how it was being spent. Always.
Was it the giant murals of family members and statues, Adam? Is that what tipped you off?
No, it was the $3 million remake of the Rogers logo where they rotated it 45 degrees. Here's another one. I've met Dr. Bell.
Okay, hit me.
I met him at a social event.
Did he work on your groin?
He did not work on my groin, but Corrado did say, great with the groins. I am convinced of one thing with this man. Two things. A, that he's brilliant. B, that he knows he's brilliant. He's extraordinarily aware of his brilliance, and he loves to, in my view, from a 20-minute conversation, he is not afraid to tell you.
Did you witness him fart into an empty wine glass and then sniff it?
Not quite. I mean, it was, you know, there was a lot of people of, you know, that you get to that level, you know. I have nothing against confidence. I will tell you that he did not ask a single question in my direction. And that's okay. If you're great, whatever. There's a bit of an ego there. What I will say is this. You know, when I talked to a few people that Leafs adjacent, and obviously I told you I talked to Frank Corrado.
Yeah.
Frank said, Rich Rottenberg, as much as Bettel is the one speaking, Rich Rottenberg is a real loss. And
Well, he's the one they lost.
Yes,
right?
yeah.
Vettles.
Yeah.
They
That
lost
was
him a
long
long
ago.
time ago.
Yeah.
Roddenberg is he's the principal guy here.
And what do we know about Kyle Dubas?
Man, Adam, Kyle Dubas loves his guys.
And joining Spezza and Wes Clark down in Pittsburgh is Rich Rottenberg. And look at how great the very much older, even older than the Leafs, Pittsburgh Penguins are doing this year.
And the Pittsburgh
And the lack of
Penguins,
injuries.
who even when they were elite, were notoriously injured
Yes.
all the time.
Like Letang would be like, well, I missed 70 games, but I'm back for the playoffs.
Yeah. Or like
it's the
Crosby's
fourth or
out.
fifth time I've almost retired. I'm Chris Letang. Like,
Malkin's out. There was like a crazy stat like in the middle of their time together where it's like Crosby and Malkin have played like 30% of their games together over the last 3 seasons or something stupid.
yes. So as Jesse mentions, is it direct causation? That's up to interpretation, but the results are what they are.
Exactly.
And so I think that we've got a scenario here where you've got an incoming CEO, and I'll be the first one to tell you, I really had some faith in Keith Pelly. I thought this was a good hire.
You looked at the shorts in the European Golf League.
And man, I was like, man, they match his glasses. They match his glasses, though. He's not looking good right now, guys. And neither am I. And I've been wrong before, only once. But
I think you always look good.
the Keith Pelly making this decision, because it would have come to him, it's a bad one. And I think too, I mean, I know Brad is the guy that's paid to go out and make that statement. Keith's not going to talk to the media. He might not even talk to you once a year. I think it kind of sucks that we know that that was not Brad's decision.
Yes. And like, I don't know, history doesn't repeat itself, but it does rhyme. Brad Treliving, this is now his second straight assistant general manager job then.
Yep.
Because he wasn't making decisions in Calgary and he's not making decisions here in Toronto. And he still hasn't made a trade in almost 200 days.
You're very fixated on the trade.
Yes, because I'm not taking my eyes off the prize here. Like, I do think the Leafs have been looking for something to galvanize them.
Mm-hmm.
And, William Nylander gets fined for the middle finger and Mikhail Sergachev doesn't. And behind the scenes, like, I know they were not pleased with that. And hey, let's talk about this. Go Leafs, go. Go Leafs, go. And it maybe distracts you for a sec from the fact that they've now lost, I think at the time it was 4 straight games. Well, then you lose 5. Okay. Jonas Siegel article comes out. Hey, that's not true. That's bullshit. Jonas and his short ass are lying. Go Leafs, go. Go Leafs, go. And then they lose 6. At the end of the day, all you have is a stagnant team you've done nothing with and a pile of losses and the second worst record in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, because none of that's going to work at this point because the players aren't very good and the roster isn't very good and they don't have the talent to even overcome whatever deficiencies they have with motivation and getting, all gung-ho about an article. They don't have the talent to do that.
Like, how about we boil it down this far? I believe Jonas in his reporting. I wouldn't care if every word of it was wrong. You suck.
And you've got a lot of
The
men
team
who lost.
sucks. The team sucks and you're not doing anything.
Anthony Petrelli this morning wrote, he's like, I don't know if there's a defenseman out there who's won a Norris Trophy only playing 11 games, but based on Chris Tanev's numbers this year, he deserves a case.
He deserves I've tweeted similar things. Like, he should make $20 million.
Yeah. Now,
one thing I just want to mention, you briefly mentioned the Canadian Press article about Rogers and their profits and how they're going to merge the Blue Jays and MLSE once they buy out Tannenbaum. One thing that really bothers me about the 80 jobs they cut last year at the end of the season is how much money they have, obviously, but the profits they made after that, because the Blue Jays run to the World Series. It's the same. It's one pocket. It's different pockets on the same pants.
yeah, it's
right?
like he's wearing cargo pants.
Yeah. It's all going to the same place.
I
but
like that.
Rogers Media, which includes the Blue Jays, in 2024, they made $547 million in the fourth quarter.
And that's when
of
they
the year.
sucked.
It's not great. With the Blue Jays' run to the World Series, that $547 million rose to $1.24 billion in that same quarter.
And is that revenue or net profit?
That is revenue.
So that's revenue.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know
But
what the
still.
costs are to run it, but I'm going to go out and say if probably less. But I would say, Jesse, if they're advertising that, then they probably want that number out there.
Yeah.
And you know,
Go from 500 million to $1 billion.
yeah. Let's talk
Why
about
are you cutting 80 jobs?
Let's not hire another doctor.
Let's talk about it like this. I wonder, so this has been proposed for a while, just so everybody knows. We've been hearing about this for years. And I think it's probably the right time because now it's in the papers to start talking about what we've been hearing for years, which is on the business side, Ed wants to supposedly take all the sports properties, including Sportsnet, and spin it out into a corporation unto itself away from the telecom. So he's going to keep, from what I understand, he's going to, because they own more than just sports media, right? Right now it's called Rogers Sports and Media, but they own a bunch of radio stations and they own City TV and some lifestyle brands, and they also own like the home and garden network licenses from Discovery and all that stuff. And anyway, long story short, from the business perspective, if you put all the sports into one portfolio, it allows Ed to come in and have one company that does telecom, one company that does sports, and he's in charge of both. And the question then becomes, how do you continue to build shareholder value? Everybody's favorite saying. Well, is it stripping down the Maple Leafs at a key time when you're spinning them out? I don't think so. And that is something that ought to play into this for your calculations on how far the Leafs might be willing to go to turn this around. Now, I think that it's bad that they're not making the playoffs. And I think that Rogers knows that it's bad. But my question is, are they going to be smart or are they going to be desperate as this happens? And the other question I have is, who runs this sports portfolio? Because as soon as the Blue Jays merge with Maple Leaf Sports, and maybe they change the name of it. Maybe it's Rogers Maple Leaf Sports or Rogers the Big Red Sports Company, whatever they call it. Right? Who's going to run that? And the guy that's stuck around the longest, guys, under Ed Rogers, is who in the sports category?
Mark Shapiro.
So Pelly's here, but my question would be for how long? Because you don't need to. The one thing about Rogers is they love streamlining. You don't need two CEOs.
I actually kind of like the job that Mark Shapiro's done with the Blue Jays.
Hey, me too.
That's not a popular opinion, I don't think. But
Yeah.
he doesn't handle a lot of the decision making. That's Ross Atkins. And in terms of running the business side of the Blue Jays,
It's a better business.
He's been very successful at running a good Blue Jays organization from the business side. The renovations of the Rogers Center are cool. The fan engagement's amazing. I think he's done a good job with the Blue Jays.
Well, and that's what we said last show, though. Like, the Blue Jays are actually the golden goose, or they're the favored son.
Of Edward.
They're Ed's like, dude, I heard that dating back over a decade ago. People are like, man, he does this, he does this, he does this. He friggin' loves the Jays. And the Jays broadcast is elite.
There's like 20 people who cover the Jays for Sportsnet. It's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's money in there.
Go, like, here's something that is difficult to do because of the way the stars align, but watch a Jays game and a Leafs game back to back. It's crazy.
Sportsnet's broadcast, you're absolutely right, of Blue Jays is phenomenal. Watching a Leafs game, I'm like,
Watch a
What
Jays
is this?
broadcast, watch a Leafs broadcast, and then tell me which one the company gives a shit about. It's the Jays. And it's like, if Ed is passionate, I mean, there's nothing he cares more about than his ego, right? And I know he wanted that World Series bad, right?
I think we all did.
I think we all did. And he spent on it like crazy, and the broadcasts were crazy, and it was magical. But no kid plays with all their toys equally. And I don't think you can own this many teams. I don't. What is there?
I think here's the deal. I actually disagree with you on that. I think plenty of people do. I don't know they can.
This many?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Like there's so many groups that own multiple teams or whatever. All I'm going to say is I don't know that you can own this many teams and do a great job with all of them.
Yes. Well, then we agree.
Yeah.
That's what. Of course, you can own them all.
You look at Fenway, right? Fenway owns a bunch of teams. They don't do so great with some of them.
Yeah, and one of them is doing super high. What wasn't it? Liverpool.
Yeah,
did very, very well.
And so they
and the Penguins and Red Sox were ass.
Yeah, because they stopped spending. Stan Kroenke, who married into the Walmart family, he owns.
He owns my Rams. He owns the Avalanche,
the Nuggets, the Rapids, the Mammoth, Colorado Mammoth. That is Screaming Eagles, Screaming Eagles Winery and Vineyards, and Wagoneer Ranch. So they own like there are, but
so they're doing pretty well.
This is a billionaire thing to do. Right now. But I think we have to make that distinction. This does happen many times. I'm just saying it's hard to do a great job with all the brands at once.
The Avalanche, Nuggets, Rams trio refutes your argument.
Yes.
You brought up the worst owner to bring up because
that's fair.
Stan Kroenke's done a pretty good job outside of stealing the Rams from St. Louis.
It's possible.
Yeah.
But I don't have faith that Ed can do it. He's done. No one can argue he hasn't done a stellar job with the Jays. That was never the argument. He's done a great job with the Jays. I just think he could take or leave the MLSE teams. It's an ego play.
Just to provide some details on what Adam's talking about there, the MLSE Blue Jays merger wouldn't happen until like 2027 at the earliest.
Yeah.
They're saying it's likely to stretch into 2027. The Rogers Sports and Media includes the Blue Jays and the Rogers Center, and MLSE and all those sports properties. They would all become one, and Rogers' portfolio would then be worth up to $20 billion if they're able
just in
to,
that.
If they're the sports side of not the telecom side of it, the sports combined Blue Jays MLSE thing, that would be a new $20 billion.
And that telecom would be worth at least that too.
Yeah,
at least, especially if that merger was Shaw.
The thing that people listening to the show spend $300, $400, $500 a month on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they spend more on Rogers Communications than they do on like Leafs tickets.
Oh yeah,
right.
Yeah, and so the hitch and the giddy up could be. Listen, if you're looking for a full teardown, I'm not on board. I am not on board. You're not going to do a full teardown. You're not going to convince me that's a good idea with Auston Matthews on the team.
Let's pause for a moment. There's been some really good cliches on today's show. Can we just say that?
Okay, run them down.
Well, just hitching the giddy up.
Hitching the giddy up.
That's so
a good one, right?
What was it? Is same pocket, different pants?
Yeah.
Is that what you said?
One pocket to another.
No, what did I say?
It was a bar though.
Same pants, just different pockets.
Yeah. Great. That's
and then
really
you talked
good
about
shit.
killing dogs.
And
awesome,
beating
Steve.
dogs, not beating.
Yeah.
You want to keep them alive so you can beat them again,
just
right?
make them in pain.
Yeah, that's right.
A shot dog will be dead, I think is what it said. The title of Christy Noem's book. What were you saying?
What I'm saying is there's a lot going on at the executive level that you won't give a shit about. And
you will though.
But you will.
Yeah,
you're probably listening to this going, this is not what I was expecting. I expected you guys to tear these guys limb from limb, blah, 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 and fire and brimstone. And sure, listen, they deserve that. They deserve that. But over the next few years, there are some major changes happening. And
all of them bad.
All of them seemingly bad. And I, for one, am very, very curious about how that affects the Leaf situation right now. And, Brad Treliving did say on Overdrive, and again, I'll say this, any clip you read of Brad on that interview, he's not being snide. He's not being vindictive. He's not a petty dude. He comes across as like a normal guy.
I'd like it if he was more of all of those things.
Yeah, it'd be easier. He's not evil.
No, he wouldn't have gone 200 days without making a trade. He would have made some ruthless decisions, but he hasn't.
But I think he said that he was very disappointed with the homestand. Well, duh. And that he said he's not going to make any broad sweeping statements. BetMGM is an official sports betting partner of the National Hockey League. Don't you know?
I know now.
All right, so Jesse got his hand up. What? What's your question? What?
Steve, we had this debate last night, Adam, Hayden, and myself. Would you take Italy scoring over or under 3.5 goals at the Olympics.
Wow. So
They
that
are
means
playing Sweden, Slovakia, and Czechia, I believe. Off the top of my head.
they might not score a goal.
I think you're so wrong.
I'm going under.
I took over.
I can't believe
Finland, sorry. Finland. So Slovakia, Finland, and Sweden. Those are the
Who's
three of them.
Slovakia's goalie?
I can't tell you.
Answer
I
me
probably can.
Now.
Because you're putting me on the spot for Slovakia.
That game is your shot. I'm going. You know what? I like cheering for things.
None of their goalies are NHLers. Havelaj, Gajan, and Skorovanik.
You wanted me to know that?
Yeah. You don't know anything.
Oh, there you go, Maddie. There you go. I think I'm taking over 3.5 goals. I think they probably get shut out by Sweden. They sneak in 1 or 2 against Finland, and then they get the next 2 or 3 against Slovakia.
Finland's nasty on defense, though.
I think
They're nasty. I don't think they're scoring against Finland or Sweden. I think they get 2 against Slovakia.
I think you get a couple ugly ones. They're the Italians. They work hard when they choose to.
It's sometimes just a no-show job.
What are you taking?
Still under.
Yeah.
You want under, Adam?
I'm
You're under? Okay.
I think they get 2. So we'll see.
I believe in Team Italy.
Download the BetMGM app and enjoy the NHL like never before. BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. 18 plus to wager on Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you have any questions or concerns about your gambling or somebody close to you, please contact Connects Ontario at 1-866-531-2600 to speak to an advisor free of charge. BetMGM operates pursuant to an operating agreement with iGaming Ontario. Now, Elliot Friedman did say on the broadcast last night that they have begun evaluating. Now, there was a lot of conjecture on the broadcast about who they might trade where and whatever. I don't know how much of that holds any water, and in fact, I don't think it does. I think they were just
spitballing.
I think they were doing what we do. They just, shoot the shit.
Yeah.
But
Which is fine.
But hearing he and CJ both sort of intimate in different hits that, that there's some evaluation going on internally about what assets might come back. That is a positive sign to me. I need to cope.
Yeah,
Let me have it.
they're constantly doing that. Those words don't really do anything for me because they're always evaluating everything.
They've been evaluating for 200 days.
Yeah, no, you wake up and you do your job as a GM, and then you go to bed and you wake up and you do your job as a GM, and that's to evaluate your hockey team.
Yeah.
So I don't know what I'm supposed to take away from that.
Okay, so what do you take away from this? Kevin Weeks tweets yesterday that there was he tweeted 11 teams that were interested in Panarin. If you're an NHL team, you should be interested in Panarin. I'd be curious about what the extension he's looking for. But Kevin Weeks tweeted that Toronto was among them. Now, Brad does notoriously call literally everybody about everything.
Yeah, it's his job.
Not every GM does that.
What is
I'll
it? A
respect that.
mile wide and an inch deep?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's no way to build an ocean.
Right. So I'm not putting a whole lot in the Leafs are in on Panarin. I'm just not.
Well, and if they were, I wasn't as concerned as others because there's no way it would be a buy, would it? If you're...
It's a retool, so I would imagine that they want him more for next year than this year.
Yeah, it would be with an extension. He doesn't... It would just make them even older.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
I think he makes too much sense for a young, fun team. Pair him with Bedard, pair him with Celebrini. You know what I mean?
Back to Chicago would be hilarious.
That'd be insane, right? Listen, do you not love the idea of Artemi Panarin feeding Matthews all next year?
Sure, but you're giving up Willie, I guess?
I hope not.
Well,
it'd have to be Panarin plus, and I know Rangers fans won't want to hear that, but he's not under contract next season.
I agree with that.
You got to get more than Panarin for Willie, who's under contract at a pretty reasonable hit.
Nice.
Gibbs.
By the way, a lot of people were like, "Why are you talking about nice?" Well, I agree. I think that you keep him, but
I don't know if this experiment is worth it. Going down the line.
It's 100% worth it. I love trading.
Okay,
are you kidding me? Come on, let's talk. Let's cook with some gas. We're talking really, Jesse. I know we're getting a little sidetracked, but we are talking about direction and why. Okay, the Leafs call on Panarin. I'm trying to make it make sense. Okay, if the Leafs were thinking that, they're thinking, hey, this is an off year like Boston. We bring in a guy because let's be straight, guys. And you saw it last night, and you've seen it for the last couple of weeks.
Oh.
Yeah, actually most of our lives. McMahon and Domi are not long-term line mates for Auston Matthews. If this team is going to be a serious
Or
team,
leaves.
they've given it a shot. And no disrespect to either player, no. So they do need to fill that right or left wing with somebody who can feed him the puck. I was watching the first power play they had last night.
What a nightmare.
Morgan Riley to Matthew Nyes to John Tavares to Matthias Michelli to Nyes to Riley to Matthews.
Sometimes Domi, sometimes OEL.
No. I'm talking about just the first unit.
Yeah.
Never once did I say Matthews. They are not feeding him the puck.
Every person you just listed is a lefty.
I think it matters.
They
can also still pass though.
Yes.
And every time Matthews does get the puck, where is it, guys? It's on the power play. It's on the goalie's red line in the corner, and he has to feed it back to Morgan Riley. You go back and watch. It's there. And I think when you're looking at how you retool a team, you've got to find somebody who can find that man. I also want to bring up some stats. Producer Hayden and I were going through this. And Auston Matthews is 4th in block shots in the entire league right now.
Even though he missed time.
For forwards.
Wow. It bothers me when people talk about him like when he's not scoring goals, he doesn't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
He does a lot. He does a crazy amount for this team.
Oh my God, no. They don't know what they're talking about.
And he puts his body on the line. And oh man, when he went down last night, I'm like, well, that's his season. And then I don't think he missed a shift.
Yep.
He does a lot. Does he do enough? Does he, is he doing this well enough? Is he doing that well enough? The guy's one of the top goals per game players in the league and top 5 in block shots for forwards, even though he missed time.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
According to StatMuse, Pettersson is leading in terms of forwards with block shots, 78.
Elias?
Yep.
Oh. Well, Vancouver never has the puck.
Ryan Hartman, 70. Wenberg in San Jose, 69. Matthews, 66. Tuck, 60. Henrique, 57. Tolvanen and Paling following that up. This is not... Like, I'm now moving us to, we got a coaching problem. Auston Matthews, I love that he is so strong defensively. I love that about him. I have to ask, why is he getting so few ozone starts? Why is he required to block this many shots?
Why'd you trade for Scott Laughton if you weren't going to play him?
Why did you burn
make Matthews do all the shit anyway?
Why did you burn a first for Scott Laughton?
Yeah.
Why are you putting Matthews in a position where Nick Waugh and Scott Laughton can handle it? I think I look at last night, guys, and the first goal wasn't even really their fault, and I don't even know if the second one was. But the Ekman-Larson-McCabe pairing, which we have seen time and time again get burned and burned and burned, and there's an entire article, funnily enough, written by Jonas, saying how bad they were together against Colorado, that in 4 minutes they were outshot 10 or outscoring chance 10-1.
I don't know what they're
4 minutes of ice time.
I don't know what they're
And they keep going back to it. They're out of their minds.
Do Stetcher and McCabe hate each other? What was wrong with that pairing?
I think this is Berube. And I have to tell you, in a retooling scenario, you've got to put young players in. This guy doesn't like young players. What are we doing with Easton Cowan playing 7 minutes last night? 7 or 8 minutes. What are we doing? What's he learning?
Behind Calle Yarncroke. Let me.
I mean, this season's lost.
Yes.
What's Easton Cowan doing on the fourth line?
What
is he learning? What if he went to the AHL and burned it up?
I can answer that easily. What's he learning? Not enough.
Okay. All right.
Let me then ask my own question. What else is Craig Berube supposed to do? He's had the same group of men for 200 days.
Mm-hmm.
They won't make a trade. Berube is going to keep doing this kind of stuff until you give him other options, even if that means taking options away.
Mm-hmm.
Calle Yarncroke is going to be in the lineup as long as he's a Leaf. If you don't want him there, trade him. Right?
Yep.
Easton Cowan is going to be on the fourth line until you send him down.
Mm-hmm.
Then send him down. Do something. Does that phone work for TSN and no one else? This isn't good enough. And the trade deadline for the Olympic break is coming up in a few days. What do you mean you're friggin' starting to evaluate? No! Sorry. Make trades now!
With apologies to Subwoofer Guy.
No, you know what? He, like Brad Treliving, has had a long time to adapt.
Yeah.
Okay?
So
make trades now. Matthew Darche came from the Tampa Bay Lightning.
I love him.
A pretty gosh darn smart organization. And he's gotten out in front of the market. And he got a third for Carson Soucy. And I don't mean to demean Carson Soucy, but like, that's pretty good. Andre Palat got 2 points in his first game. Very genuinely funny, right? He's gotten out ahead of the market. Brad! Still nothing? Still nothing, I guess. No, it's not good enough, and they're going to fail for as long as they do nothing.
Jesse, what do you think about this stat? A friend of mine reached out yesterday, and I'm going to keep him nameless, but he is a passionate Leaf fan, and he's very upset. And I'm going to give you Ozone starts, okay? I'm going to give you the last 5 years. 21-22, when Auston Matthews was 24 years old. 69.9% of his starts were in the Ozone.
Nice.
22-23, Auston Matthews is 25. 74.3% of his starts were in the Ozone.
Nice.
23-24. This is the season where he scored almost 70 goals, 69, which is
nice.
66.3% of his starts were in the Ozone. Last season under Berube, where he had a huge fall in goal production, Jesse, 53.9% of his Ozone starts are in the offensive zone. And lastly, this season, 56.6. Now, let me compare and contrast that with the best players in the league. McDavid, currently, 70% of his starts are in the Ozone. McKinnon, 71.9%, essentially 72%. Celebrini, 67%. Scheifele, 68.5%. Eichel, 64.4%. Nick Suzuki, known great two-way center who plays strong defense and made the Olympic team.
Hit me.
59.6%.
Okay.
Still higher than Matthews.
Okay.
Crosby, known great, legendary defensive and offensive forward.
Going to be 39 in August.
68.6% Ozone starts. And Matthews is at 56.6. Jesse Blake, do we not have a deployment issue?
In his entire career, he's never been a high offensive zone start guy. The numbers are a little different than the Ozone starts numbers I know. I know you're not asking me to poke holes in the numbers there.
You can.
But the NHL Edge data is counting it differently.
That's the, I forget the website. That's
Hockey Reference.
Hockey Reference has it 50.
So yeah, they count them differently, but it doesn't change the fact that he does not start a lot of time in the offensive zone. Some of that this year, or I think a lot of that is the team as a whole does not spend a lot of time in the offensive zone. They are 31st. We went through those numbers last episode.
Which is also a coaching issue.
I think it's also a roster issue.
Yes.
I think everything with the team is broken.
Well, they haven't changed either of them.
Yeah. And Steve, you complain about this all the time in Matthews' deployment as a defensive 2C. I think his job is more difficult in that, like, he's a center and he's the star on the team and he must play both ways. This isn't just, go out there and score goals. But the roster hasn't been constructed in a way where he can be protected from having to do all of the tasks.
Right.
There is a huge burden on his shoulders with the way the team is, and it'd be nice if there was more around him where he didn't have to start so often outside of the offensive zone.
Scott Laughton is at 12.9% offensive zone starts. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not worried about Scott
You do
Laughton
that.
numbers. Yeah.
I just think, like, at what point? Because here's the thing: the Leafs never had a lot of talent back on the back end. You think about the defensive cores they had, and there were guys that had good numbers. Like I think about Jake Gardiner. I think about Morgan Rielly in his prime. I think about Nikita Zaitsev had that 1 year, but let's be honest.
Yeah, 36 points.
36 points. Yeah, and then they stopped playing him on the power play, and he had no points.
Well.
The Leafs' defense, at least in the regular season, came from their possession. We have the puck, and even though we don't have a lot of crazy talent back there, we don't have Victor Hedman, we don't have Duncan Keith, we don't have Chris Letang, we don't have Erik Karlsson, whatever you want to say, the big defenseman at that time, right? We do have a lot of the puck. And so if we have the puck and you don't, that diminishes your opportunity to score. And that's why you saw the Leafs, they would back pass, and it was possession. In the playoffs, it killed them because they kept doing the possession thing and the not shooting the puck thing.
Right.
But it did create an effective barrier of you can't score on us because we have it. And when Freddie Anderson was healthy and playing well, playoffs, even if you did get the puck, you'd had Freddie Anderson and his gigantic Danish body in front of the net. I think that not only do we not have the talent anymore, we don't have the puck. We do not have the puck.
Oh yeah, this team, this isn't a possession team. They don't hold on to the puck and maintain it at all.
So when
and all of the numbers support that, and watching the game supports that.
So Jesse, when we talk about like them not putting in effort, I don't know that you can win with this strategy. I just don't.
Like last night, I don't think Craig Berube was wrong in that the effort was there and like the game wasn't bad. It's a talent issue.
Yeah.
Like I've been complaining about this since late November, early December when they kind of showed who they were. I don't think you look at that roster and say this is a team that can compete for a Stanley Cup and win a couple playoff rounds. You mentioned them earlier, but like you're relying on Domi and McMahon to be top line players. Nyes has been hurt for 3 months now. And he's out there.
His ass
he's out there less than 100%. You're taking that away.
The stats about the Leafs injuries are not even as bad as they should be.
No, because guys play hurt.
Yeah, there's a bunch of guys. McCabe and Nyes probably chief among them.
Yeah, and then the back end is old and slow. And that's all they've been. And they have no puck movers back there who can do a good job. And since Tanev's been out, there's absolutely no one who can go get a puck in the corner.
How about a couple days ago when I said if the Leafs lose to Seattle, they'll probably be 25th in the NHL. Anyone want to take a guess where they are in the NHL today?
25th?
They're 25th!
There you go. So
what are evaluating what?
When all the numbers say this isn't a good team, I don't think they can try their way out of it. I think they tried very hard against the Kraken. It's just the players at the other end are better, and they don't have otherworldly goaltending anymore to hide a lot of the flaws in their team. The last couple of years, that has been a feature of this team, and we talked about it in the preseason heading into this team. Like that can just be a part of this roster.
It's like Shesterkin with the Rangers, right?
Exactly. Or any of those great goaltending teams. It can be just like, hey, this team gets this team gets great goaltending in comparison to the league average out of both goaltenders. And they didn't have that this year. And now they are what they are.
I think too, on the goaltending thing, like people are like, what could they get for Stolarz? Nothing. He hasn't played, and when he has played before and after the injury, he's been bad. Joseph Woll, maybe something, but hey guys, Joseph Woll is constantly tweaking something and has not played well for a couple of weeks either.
No.
This idea that you're just going to somehow, and by the way, when have you ever seen a goaltender bring a big return back in season?
It's rare.
It never fucking happens. I can't name the last time. Wallstedt is apparently on the market for the Minnesota Wild for the right price.
I think they're on drugs.
They're not.
I think they're on drugs. He might be their best goalie now.
Well, I
think they're crazy.
I wonder if they get like another goalie back in whatever trade they're going to make, because they seem to want to grab assets like a pick and a prospect to go after a centerman.
Listen, Bill Guerin's had an insane season, so like I'm not going to write it off, but you're going to trade Jesper Wallstedt?
Don't do it. Don't do it. Just keep them both.
Can it be here?
Guys, I got to say, like, I think we're in a scenario where, like, a retool is not only the only option, or the best option, it's the only option. And The other thing that keeps coming up, and I want to talk about this too. Everybody in the chat comes back at me last night and Tuesday, and they're talking about Matthews and his leadership. And you know what one of the criticisms I got yesterday was, well, he's got no chemistry with the media. He's so monotone. And I said, okay, which captain in the league outside of Brady Tkachuk is a non-monotone guy? And then I go back to I'll give you a Toronto-centric thing. Go look at any Matt Sundin postgame.
Well, that was always the criticism.
It was always, that's why people said he shouldn't have been captain.
Right.
Well, he barely talks. He barely says anything. I'm begging you to keep your eye on the prize. I'm begging you to understand that Matthews could be Winston Churchill at the height of the bombing raids, good leadership, and still not help this. Leadership isn't even in the top 10 of problems that this current team has. I would argue last year and the year before when they were not making it past game sevens, I'll listen to the leadership debate then. Yeah. But we don't even have the talent. Talent first. And I don't think anybody, including you sitting at home, has any idea what his leadership is, good or bad.
Anyone listening, tell me right now, or you don't tell me, just do it in your own head. What does Sasha Barkov's voice sound like?
The only time I've heard him talk is that Instagram live where he was drunk after the Cup final.
Yeah, I saw it. I don't remember. I don't remember what he sounds like. I also think with Sundin, there was just anti-European nonsense.
Sure.
I've met Doug Gilmour. I've met Wendell Clark. They're not electric people. They're very nice.
Yeah.
They're not like, what are you hoping for exactly?
I don't know.
Matt's never has had a memorable quote in his entire career.
No, you could go back and look at our interview with
That's not true. He said fuck once. When, yeah, because they're like, hey, there's a rumor that you're getting traded. He's like, where? And they go, Montreal. And he goes, oh, fuck. There you go. Like it just came out of him.
Oh, that's funny.
Like Matt, Auston, I almost said Matt. Auston isn't going to leadership his way into a better roster. Like that doesn't make sense.
What did Connor McDavid do leadership-wise between the Oilers being bad and now they're good? I think the answer is he scored like 150 points a season.
Like Matthews isn't going to make Stolarz play better last night with leadership.
I do got to call something out.
What?
Stolarz, like one of the defining moments of the season was when Seattle visited Toronto and Stolarz wanted his team to stick up for him.
Got run over by Mason Marchment.
That moment might have broken the season.
It did. Because Brandon Carlo was there and didn't do anything, and he drew a lot of the ire. Last night, Shane Wright scores his first goal of the game.
90 seconds in, or whatever it was.
No, this is the second goal.
Oh, second. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, Shane Wright's first goal.
Yeah, his first goal, Seattle second.
Sorry.
To make it 2-1. Tolvanen, after that, or Capo Caco shoves Carlo into Stolarz after the goal is scored. It's not hard, but he shoves him into Stolarz. Carlo gives him one of these, quick little whack on the hockey pants. That's it. Seattle scores like a minute later. So, you don't want to take the penalty. Throw your gloves into the 5th or 6th row and beat that man until someone pulls you off of him. They traded the man here. They didn't trade the spoked bee. 0 shot. You get away with that bullshit against the Bruins. 0 shot. Trade this guy so I don't have to put up with the memory of that trade anymore. What a mistake. All you had to do was the bare minimum in that scenario. You can right a wrong directly from the beginning of the season and you wouldn't do it. Get off my hockey team. Disgraceful.
Jess, watching the game last night, what do you take away from it? You don't disagree that the effort was there. The talent, you said, is just not.
Yeah.
If Nylander's in there, I still don't think maybe they score a goal or two. But it's like, even if you're trying to outscore your problems, the reality of the situation is you scored as many goals this year as you have last. You can't save anything.
Yeah, that's essentially their problems. They've been trying to outscore everything that they're deficient in all season long. And you watch it, like the games kind of all blend together now and they kind of repeat themselves because you watch the Leafs up against other NHL teams and they're all faster. And they all have puck control, and they're all able to maintain time with the puck and puck possession. And the Leafs are incapable of doing any of those things, and then they can never get a save anymore.
It's great when you cover every game.
Well, we do, and that's the thing.
No, I know.
It doesn't like I'm not it doesn't emotionally upset me that they can't possess the puck. Like
it emotionally.
Well, that's where you and Steve differ.
Yeah, like I was explaining to Adam before the show that I'm in a good mood this morning, and it's because the morning after a Leaf game is when the next Leaf game is the farthest away.
As soon as puck draw or the third period ends, you're like, I'm the furthest away from the next game. Yeah.
good.
Steve's gonna wake up tomorrow and just punch the wall because it's Saturday. Fuck.
I get to take my son to hockey, and
Yeah.
is there other hockey today? Oh, the fucking Leafs.
Well, okay. Let me ask you this, because to me,
I do like streaming the games.
I know you're not here yet, but I'm more in Jesse's corner because right now I've accepted they're bad.
Oh yeah,
I've accepted they need to sell. So I'm not losing sleep over it.
Yeah, like what?
What I will lose sleep over is if we're sitting here July 15th and it's been almost 365 days since they've made a trade. Mm-hmm. And I also need to approve of, because I'm a fan and I spend money on this team, the trades that they make. And don't. Yeah. And that's what I need. Right? So right now I'm just kind of going, okay, well, the trade deadline hasn't passed yet. I'm open to seeing what they do because I don't have a choice. Mm-hmm. Like, what choice do I really have? I'm not open to seeing what they do, and life will go on without me. Mm. But I'm not emotionally invested in these games anymore. I'll watch them. I'm emotionally invested in specific players. Mm-hmm. Kind of feels like 15-16. Remember, we're like, man, P.A. Parento sure will make a great second round acquisition.
Parento-Ovechkin.
That's right. Who was the other guy that Michael Grabner? What could he fetch?
They didn't trade either of those men.
Yeah, Eric Brewer, Ole Jokinen. Like these were all
Eric Brewer.
Like they were Leafs.
Yeah.
And like
Eric Brewer in like his second or third game as a Leaf got a silver stick ceremony.
Hilarious.
Because that's where he played his 1,000th game. So the whole arena had to pretend to give a shit about this person they don't know.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
Hooray.
Good Eric. Yeah, about this team they didn't give a shit about.
This team they didn't give a shit about.
I'm
with
curious
their
about
horrible logo.
Bobby McMahon's individual performance. I'm curious about whether or not they move on from Scott Laughton, which, listen, I love Scott Laughton. If you're paying him much more than he's already making to keep him around, you're out of your mind.
I changed my mind there. Trade him, get assets.
Take what you can get.
Yeah.
Like Scott Laughton seems like a very tradable piece. It's going to be UFA. Go get a first round pick for him.
And if he comes back, amazing.
If I am Brad Treliving, I'm calling Bill Guerin and going, I heard you need some centers.
Yeah.
I got Nick Waugh. I got Scott Laughton. Are you interested in either of them? Nick Waugh, Stanley Cup winner a couple years ago. Another year left on his deal. Really affordable.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Hey, we might even retain for you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Jesper Wallstedt, please.
Yeah, right. I wonder, that's what I'm looking at. That's what I'm getting from these games. I will start to get frustrated if we pass the trade deadline and they haven't done anything. And I don't mind.
I'm honestly going to be frustrated if they get to the Olympics and they haven't done anything.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah. That's fair. Now,
I think that I also would like to see some of the guys play a little better so that the trades look better to the other GM.
Yeah.
Like Saturday against Vancouver could be a game where a couple guys look good because it's not an opponent who is playing well. So the Leafs need to beat up on some of these lesser opponents and at least boost the value a little on just on the ice of the guys. Like, hey, we're trading them when they scored a couple goals leading into the Olympic break. There's an opportunity for that as well.
And Jesse, I'd like to be 10 pounds lighter and 2 inches taller. Trade them. Don't wait. Don't wait for
you do want to maximize value.
Sure you do, but you have no control over that. And these guys don't have the talent, will, or both.
I think I think that's how you have to shift your perspective when you're watching a Leaf game now. And I think also you need to, as a fan, you have every right to send a message to the ownership group going, I'm simply just not going to go. So it's interesting. There's a guy who's on our stream all the time, and he lives in the Vancouver area. Mm-hmm. And he spent big money on Leafs Canucks tickets this past summer. I think it was $300 for the pair.
You're a Leaf fan?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was Sedin Magic.
And Sedin Magic, I think, is going to be there too.
Oh, lovely.
But for this Saturday's game, you can now get tickets in Vancouver. Same tickets, $60 a piece.
You know what I want to see in Vancouver?
Leaf fans in Vancouver don't even want to go.
Yeah, you know what I want to see in Vancouver? A building full of Canucks fans. What are you going for? What are you going for?
Mm-hmm.
Stop.
And that along with corporate sponsorships, that is going to be the thing that gets Rogers' attention. You want to get this team's attention? Stop buying tickets.
I hope Calgary is red, and I hope Edmonton is orange, ? They've had so many jerseys. Yeah, Leaf fans. Here's the thing. Rebuilds, I can do it.
Oh, they're exciting.
We've done it. Yes.
It's fun.
Because all you have is your imagination. All there is potential. And Josh Levo's going to score 50 goals one day. Maybe in his career. But you don't know that. You're like, he's maybe got 30 goal potential. He
did have a great shot.
Yeah. And I'm going to write features on Colin Smith, who I don't even remember if he played with the Marlies.
Hey, you might even write one on Ben Smith.
Tobias Lindbergh. Ben Smith.
Captain
of the Calder Cup winning Toronto Marlies.
Very nice guy.
Yes. They're actually kind of fun. This part where they're dead, but nothing's been done about it. Agony.
Mm-hmm.
Agony.
I also want to say this to everybody that says, you got to trade Matthews. You're not winning that trade, number one. You will lose that trade.
You're getting murdered.
You're going to get crushed on that trade. Number two, people who think right now, Auston Matthews wants out, because Elliot Friedman did bring up the point, and I think it's a salient one. Make sure this summer that Auston actually wants to stay and be a part of this.
All anyone has said is that he's probably staying, guys.
All anyone said is that he wants to be here and that he wants to win. Those are the two things I keep hearing. I think that anybody saying, he's just going to want out, this is a guy that's been given 9 opportunities to win the Stanley Cup. Every year he has played for the Toronto Maple Leafs, Auston Matthews has made the playoffs. Mm-hmm. Varying degrees of success, varying degrees of talent.
Not many teams around the league can boast that.
But 9 years has not missed the playoffs. This will be the first April, very likely, that he won't be in. Okay?
Yeah.
If he said to the Leafs, after all those opportunities, this is the first sign of trouble, I'm out of here, I would be shocked. Everybody, all the greats go through this. Now, if he was 33, I'd be like, I could see why maybe he won out. But the Leafs have an opportunity here to do what the Rangers did, who else has done a really good retool in recent memory? Truly, truly good. I would say, you know what? The Panthers made some really savvy moves. They made the playoffs, got booted. Huberdeau and Barkov had that great year, and then they make the Tkachuk trade. Sets them up for the Cup.
Kind of underratedly Tampa. But
Tampa's back, dude.
Yeah, they've found a way to retool while also making the playoffs the entire time.
I'm not asking the Leafs to hit that level because it's not going to happen.
Minnesota?
Yes.
Did you say Boston?
Minnesota made a great, they were in cap hell, $15 million against the cap. And in those 3 years where they had that cap penalty, they made the playoffs twice. And now they're a Cup favorite.
This is why I can't stand the idea that the Leafs are losing now and, you know what? Let's evaluate. Bill Guerin made those decisions years ago, and he's been evaluating this very moment ever since. Mm-hmm. And he's arrived at it. He's got Quinn Hughes. He's talking about trading one of the best young goalies in the world because he thinks they can really friggin' go for it. Kirill Kaprizov is signed to the biggest cap hit in NHL history. This is all by design. He's been plotting this for years. And should we trade Simone Benoit? Fuck me. Really? My kingdom for a hockey team. We're evaluating. Gag me with a spoon.
Well, he's not going to tell. I understand why politically he's not saying that, but I think they're selling. I think they're selling, and that's pretty obvious.
The other option is doom.
Mm-hmm. Well, no, the other option's apathy, which is doom, I guess.
Yes, that's doom.
And Jesse and I always talk about the Islander game we saw when the Leafs were in the Hornacek era, and Tavares came in and scored the overtime winner and won the game. And remember, Jesse, the arena wasn't sold out, and the apathy was deep. People were just like, "Fuck off! I'm not coming." Yeah. And it was after 10 years of no success and still selling out. I'm telling you right now, the Leafs don't have that kind of leeway with the fans anymore. They will buy in to a rebuild or a retool. They will not buy into middling team with no first round pick.
And when you speak with your wallet and you don't spend on the Leafs and you spend it on a different sports team instead,
it goes to the same pocket.
Money goes into the same pocket.
Yes. Now, Jess, I'm curious about I have a couple names I want to run by you. If you're the Toronto Maple Leafs, you probably want to do what Boston did and be good next year, but that's a tough pill, right?
Give a friggin' shot.
Boston's pro scouting is amazing. Look at Murat Kuznetsov, obviously.
Fraserman!
They're getting good performances out of guys that just didn't work out elsewhere. Do you look at this Toronto Maple Leafs retool and go, it should be 6 months, which is what Boston did, right? Started selling at the deadline. Now they're going to make the playoffs the next season. Maybe they're not the greatest team, but they still got pasta and they're great. Or do you say 18 months and go, I expect the next 18 months will be a lot of rejigging and we're expecting to really go for it in 27, 28. What do you think will happen?
No, I think you have to try and win next year. This is the Auston Matthews thing. Like, you only have so many kicks at the can with a player like that. If you moved off of Auston Matthews, you'd be spending the entirety of your franchise trying to get a player like Auston Matthews. So that never made sense to me. But you're trying to be competitive next year.
Yeah, and Willie and Nyes and all three of your goalies and most of your decor. Like, I don't think the Leafs are. I don't think they can strip it down to the studs, right? Like,
I think a lot of what you named is very tradable.
Yeah, I agree.
Yes.
Or you were naming those guys to keep?
No. Well, you don't have to move them, is what I'm saying. You don't have to.
I just don't know what you get done.
You ought to move Oliver Ekman-Larsson.
Yeah.
You should probably move a goalie, but I don't know what that looks like, and you should wait till the offseason to do it. But like, there's a lot of guys under contract you just don't have to move, and there's a few of them that you probably shouldn't. Mm-hmm. And like Nick Waugh, the more I think about it, I'm like, Jesus, someone's going to pay a crazy premium for that guy.
You got to
Scott Lawton. Someone might pay like a first and a decent prospect for him. Oh, wait a sec. I don't know. Just stop calling TSN.
Well, I want
to trade.
That's why I want to talk to you about it, because I think it's sort of like what are reasonable expectations? Because Jesse, if you say, hey, they gotta be in it next year, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying they're going to be at a Dallas or a Colorado level, but you have to have an outside shot at it, and I agree with that. That means then that potentially at this trade deadline, or at least at July 1st, or just before draft July 1st, you know what I'm talking about. You're making a move for a major piece coming in. You're buying.
So, you should always be big spenders in free agency.
Sure, but there's not a lot of great free agents available. And it looks like if Panarin gets traded, he will not be a free agent.
Right.
So,
yeah, I really hope they don't just do the free agency thing again, because that's kind of what they've done all the years. We make a bunch of moves at the trade deadline, we send out all our assets, and then we get whatever we can at free agency and pick up those players. Like, I would like to see them be more creative in the trade avenue and get the young players for the quicker retool.
Yeah. And I
agree, but
well, no, but hold on.
They won't even do boring moves
yet. And we're hoping that they do. And since we're getting to that, like this is, let's look at the unrestricted free agents. Panarin, Bobrovsky, Ovechkin, Laine, Carlson, Trouba, Hayes, Anze Kopitar. So most of those guys are staying with their teams or retiring.
Which Carlson?
John Carlson. Gino Malkin, Anthony Mantha, Claude Giroux, Jordan Eberle, Marcus Johansson, Charlie Coyle, Rasmus Anderson, who I think will be signed pretty soon, Patrick Kane, who will stay in Detroit, Zuccarello, Tolvanen, Lee, Anders Lee, that is, Tarasenko, Bunting, McMahon, Arvidsson, Corey Perry, Brent Burns, David Perron, Eric Holla, Boone Jenner, James Van Riemsdyk, Evander Kane, Victor Olofsson, Mason Marchment, John Gabriel Pageau. Like,
There's
these
some
are
names.
not, there's names, but like, these are not franchise-changing names. And I think that when we talk about this retool, it starts with Auston Matthews, number one. Number two, if you're going to move off of a Nyes or a Nylander, there needs to be the stud defenseman who is top 15, top 10 in the league. Good. That it has to be that good.
Yep.
And again, I ask, if the Leafs had been in this position in November, which they actually kind of were, Quinn Hughes was available, could you not have called and put a package together with Matthew Nyes? Like, tell me that doesn't get Vancouver's attention.
We would have to.
And so you're now going to have to wait for the next guy like that to become available. And maybe you look at
Fox.
An Adam Fox, a Zach Werenski. I don't know if Zach Werenski is going to stay in Columbus. He's got a year and a half left. I
don't know if anyone would blame him.
I don't either.
Like
but
where you talk about guys who have been in a place for a long time and had to eat shit.
Yep.
Zach Werenski.
Yep. And I'm spitballing here, but we got to get creative. So that move would have to happen. And I think the other major thing that the Leafs are going to have to do, because centers they have sort of sorted out this year, what's become apparent, very clear to me, is they don't have a second line center. John Tavares needs to be 3C. It's too much what they're asking from him. And they're going to have to, as a part of this retool, Jesse, if they're going to be in it the next 2 years, they need to find a legitimate top 6 option behind Auston that can put 60, 80 points on the board. And I don't know how they do that.
The list is so long of things that they need to do, and they've done none of them. And this is my frustration. It's not game in, game out, the losses. I've accepted it. I've accepted it fairly quickly and cordially. What I can't accept is you doing nothing in the midst of it. You have 3 games left before the Olympics. If you go into the Olympics with the same team that
If it's
you have
Benoit for a
today-
third, does that make you feel good?
Yes.
Okay.
Because they're starting, for God's sake.
Myers for a 6th, you're like, yeah.
Show me that the body has a pulse.
Okay.
Do something that allows me to be like, oh, okay, that little bit of business is done. Now they can move on to the next thing. But they've done nothing. They've done nothing.
Yep. Okay.
I'm not interested in what they've almost done.
I think we've
I'm not.
exhausted the subject. Hey, you're going traveling soon, let's say, because, it's cold. And Maddie just said, yeah. she
Maddie's
is.
going to Vietnam.
I am. I'm going to Vietnam in like 3 weeks.
How are you avoiding roaming fees?
Oh,
Maddie,
sailing.
we don't care where
Every
you're going.
time.
Sailing.
Sailing, 100%. I used it when I was in the UK last summer too. They got great unlimited data plans, a lot of bang for your buck, and you don't have to worry about getting hacked or anything.
Do they have
All good.
Saley in Hanoi?
They do.
That's the only city I know.
You can get a
of Vietnam.
Southeast Asia plan if you're backpacking Southeast Asia.
Wow.
I'm just in Vietnam for 2 weeks,
That's awesome.
Now, Maddie's smart. Again, we don't really care where Maddie's going. We just care that she's using sailing. I mean, that's what's important here, right?
I
Maddie?
care I'm saving money too.
That's absolutely.
Thanks.
What promo code did you use, Maddie?
Dangle!
That's right. It got her 15% off discount on Saley eSIMs. And all you have to do, Maddie and Jesse, you've used this too.
Yes.
You just download the app. Really easy. So check it out. Use the promo code Dangle. Get yourself 15% off and enjoy your travels. Hey, so there's the Scott McKay Foundation First Responder Game NHL Legends Charity Hockey Challenge, Saturday, February 7th, Ford Performance Center, where the Leafs practice.
Spent a lot of time there.
Yeah, just going to say, Jess, $20 cash only at the door, $10 if you're a youth, $5 if you're a child. And Doug Gilmore, Nick Antipov, Brad May, they're all going to be there, which is pretty cool.
Steve, what's your favorite Dougie memory?
When I asked him to play NHL 13 with me, and he said no.
What?
Yeah.
When?
That happened in 2013.
Wow, that's funny.
I guess it might have been 2012.
Yeah.
I didn't know you did that.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Scott McKay, you actually might remember from coming on the show this past summer. He was the one talking about Darcy Tucker with his coffee and Coca-Cola.
Cocacino.
Yeah. Now, Scott obviously has started this foundation because he, it's for first responders. It's not just a charity. It's specifically for peer support for first responders. They provide 24/7 anonymous support for police, fire, and paramedics and nurses dealing with PTSD and mental health crises, which are rampant in those careers, right? I mean, you're dealing with the worst of the worst every day, and they need support. It's run by first responders for first responders. It fits perfectly within, like in this organization. You got to check it out. A local Etobicoke charity right near the rink that handles food banks, Haven on Queensway, is also a beneficiary of this. And again, it's $20 at the door. 10 for youth and 5 for children. Check it out. It is February 7th at the Ford Performance Center. So let's get into this. I like this because we're getting closer to trade deadline. Let's talk about CJ's article. Him and Harman Dial put together an article of under the radar NHL trade candidates. 10 players who are falling out of favor where they are. Are you ready?
Yes.
First one, Warren Fogle in LA. Great first season in LA. They're saying the quote is, his second season has turned into a nightmare. And that's why I actually look at LA and I'm like, man, Panarin would fit really well there. Because if you look at who Quinton Byfield is playing with, it's Trevor Moore and Warren Fogle.
Ooh.
And no disrespect to those guys, but is that Quinton Byfield level guys? No.
Is Quinton Byfield ever going to truly arrive?
They could start by surrounding him with some guys.
They could.
Maybe he's not the primary driver they hoped he would be.
I know. Like heading into this season, I'm like, this is the one. He's going to get 70, 80, 90 points.
No, he has not.
No, he's like 0.6, 0.7.
So Warren Fogel's not been great either.
Yes, right.
The next one.
On the LA Kings,
go ahead.
Any serious organization would have not employed Jim Hiller this season and probably would have fired him already. I don't think the Kings are making the playoffs as they're currently constructed and where they are in the standings. They're on the outside looking in right now. I know they have a -10 goal differential, and they haven't played like a team that can compete in that really tough bottom half of the Western Conference there, where everybody's kind of jockeying for position. Because I don't trust their coach at all in Jim Hiller, and I don't trust Ken Holland to make moves to make the team better. And there's so many other up and coming teams that I think can steal that spot for them. Like the Sharks can get in there. So I don't know. I'm not high on the Kings right now.
Let me give you this. LA Kings, this player had 5 assists in 30 games with the LA Kings. He was then traded. Now has 7 points, 2 goals, 5 assists in 18 games with the Canadiens.
Philip Dano. Noted Allen lost client.
I think Jesse's got a point about Jim Hiller.
The Ducks look good this year. The Mammoth look good. The Sharks are currently 1 point out of the playoffs.
Wow, good for them.
The Predators are probably going to fall off. The Jets fell off this year entirely, even though they've been playing hot. They lost, I know, their last game, but they've been hot a little bit. But I don't know. The Kings seem like they're getting squeezed, and they haven't done anything this year to kind of get back into this.
You know who the Kings could get a fortune for, and maybe he's on the list? Corey Perry. Is he on the list?
I don't know if he's falling out of favor. I'm going to look at the...
No, but if you're falling out of the playoff picture, trade Corey Perry.
Sure, he's not in this list because these are players that are under the radar falling out of favor. So that's a very specific thing.
Got it.
Next one on the list is Calle Yarncroke.
Jesus!
We've done that.
Next one. This is an interesting one because this is the first guy we ever heard of get salary deferral in the modern era. Can you name the guy?
Salary deferral. Oh, it's a Hurricane, isn't it?
Nope.
It's not?
It's a Duck.
Frank Vetrano?
Frank Vetrano is the second name on, or third name on that list. He averaged 27 goals a year from 2022 to 2025, but he has lost a lot of minutes because you had Seneca, Carlson, Gauthier, Kreider, Granlund. So his average ice time under Joel Quenneville. So last year he was averaging 17:33. This year 12:21. He is not doing great. That's a guy that might become available for cheap. Ole Mata with the Utah Mammoth is also on there. I can't believe Ole Mata is still in the league. It's
Man,
crazy.
You know what's a really fun group chat exercise with your buds? is just name the all guy team. Like just guys who Guy McGuyerson, and they put together a great career of being just a guy.
Yeah.
Oli Mata,
Yeah.
all-time guy.
I think he's in a middle of a 3-year, $10.5 million contract.
He's made a bunch of money. He's won a cup. Guy. It's just no hate. Not trying to cut him down. That's just a man.
Jesse.
Just back to Frank Vatrano for a second.
Yeah.
Like, that's a guy who'd be the perfect trade chip for Anaheim if they wanted to make some sort of lateral move to get in a guy who'd actually be helpful for their roster right now. He's injured. He got placed on IR, I think, officially like the Wednesday date. So I think with the shoulder injury he has, he'll be out till after the Olympic break. You might as well keep him out for the week and then play him afterwards, because he hasn't been very useful to their lineup with all the young kids. And if they can move somebody who would probably be effective on a team that can use him, like there's a way Anaheim can actually reward the young guys who've played, I think, above where everybody thought the Ducks would be this year by moving out Vatrano and getting something back that's not just like picks, you know?
Yep.
Like, hey, here's an actual NHLer who's going to help this lineup and not Vatrano, who we don't really need or use.
Right.
Like, I think that's an interesting one where somebody under contract could get moved like that.
I mean, I'm probably going to say this for a lot of the teams on this list, but I like Nick Waugh there.
Nick Waugh for the Ducks?
Yeah.
Yeah. But Vatrano, somebody the Leafs don't need at all.
No, I agree.
I
agree.
The contract I was just looking at, it's 4.5 for 2 more seasons after this. But you don't need him. But how do you sell that to somebody?
Well, he's got
when
6 points.
When he hasn't been playing well at all. Yeah, like you said, 38 games, 6 points, currently injured with a shoulder injury. This is a tough sell.
You know why he's got a shoulder
him.
injury? He's laid 40 billion hits this year. I had him in fantasy because I thought he was going to have a good season. And I'm like, well, at least he's hitting everything that moves, which I guess is a good sign. If you're not putting up points, you might as well put up something, but now he's hurt.
So talking that out, Frank Vatrano might be the most useful to the Ducks, you know, because how are you going to sell this to somebody else around the league to get assets back? So you might as well keep it because you're not cap strapped.
Well, if you are able to move him, like, listen, the Devils were able to get out from under Palat.
Yes.
So
it'd be a very similar move.
It would. And I think if you have, like, if you're the acquiring team with Vatrano, let's say it was the Leafs, I'd be like, Frank, how bad is that shoulder? Well, it's going to need 3 or 4 months after the season's done. Okay, well, you're not playing for us this year.
So someone
Just go and
acquires
get
him and just sits him?
And just puts him on the LTIR and goes, see you later.
Yeah.
We'll see you next season.
2 years ago, he had 37 goals on that awful Ducks team, the 24 season. Like, that's really good. It's in there somewhere. This year's been a disaster, obviously.
I think him going to a good system, like, I feel like a guy like that going to, like, a Tampa. Like, I don't know if he's a Tampa type player, but you know what I'm saying, right? Like, you plug a guy like that into a good system, lower in the lineup. I don't need him to get 37 goals again, but if he can get 25, and I don't think the Leafs have a good system, so I'm not saying the Leafs, that could be a value pay, especially if you can offload the way that New York did, the Islanders did with Siplikov. Like, if you can drop a couple $1 million going the other way, so it's only a $2 or $3 million difference, you could actually make something happen.
Yeah. And they're so right about, like, the young kids have really taken away what made Frank Vatrano a 37 goal scorer. He's playing less minutes at 5-on-5. In that 37 goal season, he had 13.03, and then now he's at 10.30. And the most important thing for getting your cookies, the power play. He's gone from 2:16, 2:27 to 47 seconds.
Wow.
Killer.
They have so many talented young forwards. They don't need Frank Vatrano to get a bunch of power play time.
There's not an abundance of evidence he's a 37 goal scorer. There is an abundance of evidence he's a 20.
Yes.
Yeah.
And at 4.5 in today's cap, that's probably about right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, there's a move to be made there.
Yeah. You just have to, again, it's got to be a team that's betting that he's going to get back to what he was under Greg Cronin. Next guy.
Who was bad.
Yes.
A bad coach. Listen, I keep saying it. On bad teams, somebody has to score.
Yeah.
Ryan Dzingel,
Man,
25 goals or whatever it was. Come on.
that's
On the bad Senators. Somebody
You know what?
has to score on a bad team. Always.
Adam.
What?
That's a great guy.
That's a guy.
That's a guy.
He was such a guy.
Hundreds of games.
Hundreds.
Like, you need the all guy played at least like 400 games team.
Yep.
You can't just name some random man who got called up one year and played 30 games. It's got to be they made a legitimate long-term full pension NHL career out of being a random man.
Ryan Dzingel, 17-18 Senators. This is after they went all the way to the conference finals. They were friggin' horrible. 23 goals. The next season, oh my God, with the Blue Jackets and the Senators, because remember, he got traded, he had 26 goals, and he never scored more than 8 in a season again.
That's so crazy.
So is Vetrano more that, or is he more what
No,
we think
he's been a consistent 20-plus goal pace guy.
Nils Höglander is another guy. He's signed to an extension, makes about $3 million a year, and has, he lost Tockett's trust, and Adam Foote, who worked under Tocchet, doesn't seem to like him either.
Canucks fans, let me know if I got this right. I'm going to file that trade under just friggin' do it, man.
Yeah, any Canucks name you name, like, I'm like, okay, do it.
No, not for that reason. They've been talking about trading Höglander for like 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, and just do it. You're rebuilding now.
I'm sick of it. Just please do it.
The Canucks aren't how I look at the Leafs, where it's like, hey, you can retool kind of this thing, or even like Boston from last year. This is you've never torn it all down over the last decade. Just go bare bones, restart this whole thing.
I, by the way, should stop talking crap about David Kampf. He has doubled his season point total to 6.
There
That
you
sounds
go.
like you talking shit.
Gus,
Oh, why?
Gus Nyquist in Winnipeg is a name that's come up. He's 36. 2 years ago, he had 75 points in Nashville.
Bit too good to be a guy.
I think so. But he is now...
Sorry, I'm having 2 conversations.
Last season, he went from 75 points to 28 points.
Oi.
And he has been moved in the trade deadline 3 times previously in his career. He's a trade deadline guy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, this is a guy that needs to move come March 6th. Like, he's a UFA depth forward. You're going to get fucking draft pick for him, 6th round pick or a prospect or something, just something easy, and somebody's going to take him for depth. Like, this is every trade deadline depth move that doesn't get a video from us. Like,
wow.
Doesn't reach the video.
I don't know if it reaches the bar. He's playing on like their 4th line. He has 8 points. Like, he's gonna get traded for what, a 6th, 5th?
Dude, can I read the trades?
Okay, yeah.
Like, just what a bunch of waste of our time trades. In 2019, traded from the Red Wings to San Jose for a 2nd round pick in the 2019 draft.
Second?
Yeah, whose name is Albert
That's my
Johansson.
Steve.
Okay. And a conditional, sorry. And a conditional round 3 pick in 2020, who's Damon Hunt, who I think is probably the best player he's ever been traded for, because 2023 traded from Columbus Blue Jackets to Minnesota Wild for a 5th round
There we
pick
go.
in 2023, a man named Melvin Strahl.
Melvin.
Melvin. In 2025, traded from Nashville to Minnesota for a 2nd round pick in 2026. So that person doesn't exist yet. And then he was signed by Winnipeg, who, when they signed him, signed a 2nd or 3rd round pick.
Wow.
There you go.
What? So does Gus Nyquist get the video?
Whoa.
Gus Nyquist should get a video just for the
Yeah.
amount of effort he's put into the trade deadline.
Did you
Yeah.
say what his stat line was?
I said he has 8 points, all right?
Yeah. Did you mention that none of them are goals?
Yeah, 8 assists, I should have said, yeah.
Yo, the Jets can't score.
What? And also last year with Minnesota, after getting traded there, he had 2.
That's what I'm saying.
22
like 5th
games?
round pick, right?
I don't know if you're getting
You
a
get a
second.
fifth?
I don't think you're getting a second this time around there, fellas.
If it's Nyquist for a 6th, are we doing a video
I think if Nyquist moves, we have to do a video.
for this because of this now?
Just for him.
For the
Ah,
bit?
damn
For
it.
the bit. Yeah.
Talked myself
Gustav
into a
Bitquist.
Nyquist video.
Let's do it.
It's his Revenant, right? It's his Revenant Oscar. Like we haven't done one yet, but we should probably do one.
It's going to
I
be
want-
very funny when he wins the cup.
Did we
Yeah.
do one last year?
For Gus Nyquist?
Yeah.
Probably
No.
not.
Yeah, let's search
I'm
the
always
channel.
on the train of let's do the video, but sometimes everybody else is like, Adam,
That's every trade
the
deadline.
fuck are we going to talk
Adam.
about?
Okay, all right. We got to do the Oli Mata video.
We're doing the Oli Mata
No,
video
I know.
now.
But like, we'll be like 6 trades in the hole.
Yeah.
Right? We're in video debt.
We're in the shit.
We're in content debt. And you're like, let's do a Gus Nyquist video that's going to get 3,000 views. And I'm like, come on, man.
Have to go down on trade deadline day. And it's looking like a week ahead of time, teams are getting.
Do you see why
the
I grew a
Minnesota
beard?
Wild acquire Gustav Nyquist.
That's so much
again,
face.
this time for a second-round pick in 2026.
It was a second. Like I think we had to do it.
yeah,
Yeah.
That's so much face.
That's a lot of face.
That's too much face.
Saying the Minnesota Wild acquired Gustav.
Yeah, no,
It
we
looks
did.
good.
That's
Steve
too
did
much-
it. Steve
too
did
much face.
Yeah.
Nyquist second round.
By the
pick.
way, you ever heard of white balancing or
No.
you're going to just disappear into that?
Yeah. No, that's no, I've been yelled at about shooting in that particular part of the room.
all right, he definitely gets a vid.
Hey, Cash App just released a new status program for the way people spend cash. It's called Cash App Green. It unlocks new ways for you to pay, get rewarded, and easily grow or manage money on your terms. So when you spend at least $500 a month with the Cash App card or Cash App Pay, you earn green status, which unlocks benefits like up to $200 in free overdraft protection, higher borrow limits, and custom personalized cashback offers every Friday at places that you love to shop. Turning everyday spending into status with Cash App Green. Download Cash App today or visit cash.app to learn more about this and other great new features launching now. For a limited time, new Cash App customers can earn $10 if they use the code CashApp10 in their profile at sign up and send $5 to a friend within 14 days. Now, terms apply for that. Cash App is a financial services platform. It's not a bank. Banking services are provided by Cash App's banking partners. Prepaid debit cards issued by Sutton Bank, member FDIC. Cash App Green, overdraft coverage, borrow, and cashback offers and promotions provided by Cash App, a Block Inc. brand. Visit cash.app/legal/podcast for full disclosures. Next one on the list. This guy would for sure get a vid. This is the most interesting name on this list by far to me. What do you think Alexis Lafreniere is? And I'm not surprised to see his name on this list at all. Let me run you through. This is a former first round pick.
First overall.
What are you talking about?
Sorry, that's what I meant. I didn't say
he
it,
was
but that's what
right.
I meant it. Yeah. I was
Early first round.
technically right. The furthest he's ever gotten in terms of points in his career was that 23-24 Rangers team that was really good, went all the way to the conference final, 57 points. He had 28 goals, 29 assists, signed the big $52 million extension after that.
So good in those playoffs.
Fell to 45 points last year and has 29 and 55 this year. Feels like a power forward that might be all he is.
Do you have the 24 playoff stats? Because he was nearly a point a game during those playoffs and was a beast.
8 goals, 6 assists, 14 points in 16 games.
14 and 16. Like, he was fantastic.
There were a number of games I watched where I was like, I think he might be the only Ranger. And like him and Barclay Goodrow.
I think that's
The
just
Rangers were like, well, we can't have that.
if you're going to take a bet, though, right? Like we were talking about Vetrano being a bet. And if you're a team that's a playoff team, man, Lafreniere feels like a good bet, especially if he's a playoff guy. Doesn't he? At $7 million?
I would keep him.
Well, they don't want
Really?
to. They don't want to.
I would.
They're done.
If I'm Drury, I keep him. It's year 1 of 7. He's 24. The potential still. I want to cross my fingers and believe the potential's still there.
I agree
Based
with you.
on what I've seen in that 24 playoffs.
Jesse-
Maybe it's too much whisk casting on one playoff run, but I don't know. I don't know. I want Laugh to work out.
Would you not think, though, that I think an acquiring team would say exactly what you're saying? And I think maybe this is this not just a change the scenery thing? Like you need a new, fresh outlook on life?
Yeah, and then you lose the trade. Like,
Well,
if you move him and he becomes a stud, then you lost.
Yeah.
And it's
Unless you get something back, that's obviously equivalent.
a first overall pick.
Yeah, but it's done now.
Yeah.
That was 6 years ago.
That's sunk
yeah.
cost, yeah.
And you have like maybe the most egotistical owner in hockey.
I think they're done. I think both sides are done here. Let's
well,
just assume he's
You
right.
hope so.
That to me,
Man.
that's an intrigue. Listen, you have to think like NHL GMs do, which is he didn't work out there, but we're smarter than those guys. He could work out here.
There's like 3 Rangers having a good season, by the way.
Oh, I know. The team sucks.
Like
Terrible.
Trocheck, I'm not putting Miller in that conversation. Zibanejad, I think, has been actually pretty good. And Panarin. And I guess Fox. but
Panarin
he's-
started-
No, Fox, definitely. But
Panarin
he's out.
started really slow.
He's at
really-
57 points in 52 games.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
But he was bad the first month.
Sure.
I think I think that is a very, very good potential bet acquisition. And I'll read you a little bit of why he might go. The Rangers were certainly sold on the idea that Lafreniere was the guy in 23-24 that he was going to be going forward. Frustratingly, he regressed the next year. Many debate why Lafreniere, who's now 24, has failed to live up to the hype, whether it's poor development on the Rangers' part. I mean, really, who have the Rangers developed that it's gone well? Other than Shesterkin, who was already developed when he showed up.
Guys who are still there? It's a short list.
Lindgren for a bit. He's not there.
Nope. Kakko.
I guess Schneider. No. Was he a pick?
He was a pick of theirs.
They said they say in the article he has a lack of consistent top six and power play one usage in his early years, lack of progression in his skating. But the larger point is that he's 6 years into his NHL career, and the odds of him becoming a high end player are dwindling by the day in New York. So do they sell Lafreniere now while he still has considerable value and youngest and has some cachet, or does it make more sense, as Jesse says, to give him the final opportunity to be the guy once Panarin is gone?
I think you are sucking, and I don't know if you get better right away by moving him. And I think on a team that should be bad, you give him a shot. Give him a real shot.
I don't think you get anything for him.
The contract's also a lot if the team is like, hey, we want to pay what he is in the 25-26 season, which isn't great. Like, the numbers aren't there. So if they're not willing to pay for the potential that could be there, then yeah, you're not getting a lot.
I think I'm with Jesse here.
I don't know. I hang on to Laf.
Yeah,
and like, if you build your little list of guys you want to hang on to, if it's Laf, Cooley, Schneider, Fox, Edstrom.
Who's that defenseman they acquired from Seattle last year?
Oh, Borgen?
Borgen.
Well, Borgen.
I wonder if he's going to be a part of that too. I would think so. They like him.
I think like there's a little bit of a decent core. Borgen is 29, but he's only making $4.1 million, and he's making it till 2030. So he's probably sticking around unless that's something you want to sell. But I think those names, you're like, okay, we have pieces of a kind of mid team that's with, but at least these guys are all 20 to 25, and we have a young team that could grow into something. And then now we actually kind of strip this thing down, and we can put pieces around that. And Igor. Igor put that on list. So there's like 7 guys where you kind of have a core, and then you need to now get back to the point where you have a star like Panarin, except hopefully 5 years younger, and not out the door, right? Like,
and New York can always rely on the fact that they're a destination people want to be.
Yes, and I think the way you get to that is by moving Trocheck and Zibanejad and Panarin. You have 3 guys, and JT Miller, if you could ever get anybody to take him, even for free, hey, here you go. Here's a free JT Miller to ruin your locker room. Take it. I would do that right now. But if Chris Drury isn't willing to do any of those things, then they're going to be stuck. But if you can trade those 3/4 gentlemen and get a whole bunch of stuff back there, I think there's a decent retool opportunity for the Rangers.
A name that is of no interest to me at all, but it's on the list. Jeff Skinner with the Sharks. Now, this is interesting. He had a no trade clause through January 30th, which means as of today, what was
the point of that?
It converts to an 8-team trade list.
All right.
The arrangement, as they say, has not gone as well as either side had hoped. He listen, this is a guy who was scratched from the Oilers lineup when they started the playoffs last year, barely played, has not played in the playoffs most of his career, and now goes to the Sharks, which are significantly less deep in theory than the Oilers were up front, at least on the wings, and couldn't hack it there. At what point are we saying this might be it?
At what point do we text Chris and say, hey, why did healthy scratches make your list?
Because he is getting healthied in San Jose.
Yeah.
Wait. Hockey DB says he's played no games.
No, he's played.
Yeah, no, that's odd.
No,
I was like, well, I'm not sure he's
played 32 games. He has 13 points.
Oh, that's very odd.
You found an error.
Well, maybe you should message them and say, hey, idiots.
That's interesting.
Hey, idiots at Hockey DB idiots.
But like,
that's how we talk to people.
Jeff Skinner can't crack the Sharks lineup right now. You take whatever you can for him.
His last game, Jesse, where he got an assist, January 11th.
There you go.
So they've really upped his trade value.
So when we're doing the trade,
Makes $3 million.
what is the title of the article?
Guys that are underrated candidates that have fallen out of favor.
That's we got into the point of underrated.
So
I am not even rated because he's not playing.
Not rated.
you know what? Actually, can I like stick up for Jeff Skinner
Yes.
here a little bit? He has 5 points in his last 5 games and points in 4 of his last 5 games, but he's been scratched, which stopped that streak.
Well, that's because he wouldn't sell his children for a win. And I think...
Oh,
Ryan Warsofsky. Oh, that's funny.
no, I'm kidding.
No, yeah, he
That's a reference.
like 2 assists, nothing. Assist, goal, assist.
he's Nick Robertson.
He's been scratched ever since. Yeah, Nick Robertson without the payoff of getting back in the lineup and scoring.
But when he's in there, he's putting up a point.
I don't know. Like he might. Oh, never mind. He's got points in 5 of his last 6 and 6 points in his last 6 games,
And still
still can't play.
wasn't good enough.
I think that tells you what you need to know. The Sharks are in a playoff push, and they won't play a guy with points in 5 of 6. What do you need? What else you need to know?
From November, here's why he's out of favor, though, despite all that. From November 7th until December 29th, he had no points.
Yep.
I think he missed some games in there, but
I always pronounce his name wrong, but Boston Bruins young center Matt Poitras,
Patra.
he has made this list. Now, when he came into the league, he was very exciting, but the
Yes.
last couple of years have not gone very well. And he is kind of splitting time between the AHL and the NHL. Still 21. Hard to find talent in the middle. But if the Bruins make a trade for a centerman to upgrade, he might be a project player going the other way, which I think is actually interesting. Like if the Leafs were to trade Nick Waugh to the Boston Bruins, stop making trades with the Bruins.
Yeah.
That'd be a guy that I would be like, how do we get him?
Whitby, Ontario's own. He's had good American League numbers, although even those have sagged compared to last year. There's a little bit of buyer beware there, but like you said, he's only 21.
And maybe sometimes change of scenery makes a big deal. Look at Alex Steves. Bruba didn't like his game.
Look at any former Leaf.
Yeah. Ryan Strome's
Patra
name.
was called up, by the way, yesterday
Was he?
by the Bruins. So maybe they're looking to use him. Maybe they're looking to showcase him. Maybe they want to keep him.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Ryan Strome's name has come up because Leo Carlson and Cutter Gauthier will need new raises this summer. Jackson Lacomb's contract kicks in next year. He's 32, has scored exactly 41 points in 3 consecutive years, but he makes $5 million a season. And for the Ducks, that just might be too expensive with a guy like Granlund around as well, and Kreider and Trouba's a UFA, but you know what I mean.
I think if Strome gets traded, that's a tragedy. Because I remember when his contract was signed, I was like, why did either of you do this?
Right.
Because he, in 74 games, his final season with the Rangers, had 21 goals and 54 points. He was a hot commodity. And then he signed this big contract with the Ducks, who stunk. And it's like, okay, so you're just content playing out your days, making a bunch of money for a team that's not going to do anything.
They have palm trees.
And now the Ducks, yes, they do. And now the Ducks are relevant and they're going to trade him? That sucks.
Well, I think like the Ducks could trade him to another playoff team. Like, let's say Bill Guerin swings and misses on getting Vinny Trocheck. Wouldn't you call about Ryan Strome? You need center.
It's actually kind of crazy how little Frank Vetrano and Ryan Strome have done for the Ducks and how good the Ducks are despite that.
Well, it's because their young guys are just awesome.
It's like nearly $10 million worth of player to give you like 15 points.
You know who
Crazy.
else might want a guy like that? The surging Nashville Predators who have weakness up the middle. That makes a lot of sense.
I cannot believe how silly of a damn hockey team that is.
They're crazy. They're lunatics.
I think the Nashville Predators are surging the way the Leafs were.
Yeah, I agree.
It's been a lot longer.
Nah, not lately. Like they lost. Didn't they lose like last night?
I mean, they're allowed to lose a game.
I think they're 4. They lost to the Devils last night. They're 4-4-2 in their last 10.
Oh.
They're a minus 20 in the goal differential. A minus 28, sorry, on the goal differential. They're under 500 on the road. I don't believe in the Nashville Predators.
Why? Don't you like magical stories?
You know what, Jesse? I'm going to leave this one to you this time. I don't need to be the guy now.
No, Adam.
I've walked that road.
Tell them you don't believe in them, and then they're going to win 20 straight.
Anyway, those are the names on that list, and I thought it was worth looking at, and bring some different names to the table and see what happens.
I like it.
Right. I want to also do a big shout out to Mr. Patrick Kane. Mm-hmm. He became yesterday the NHL record holder for American-born player points total. They did lose, very leaf of them, but I thought Jesse, I've got it on the prep sheet here. Mike Modano made a really nice message, and Mike Modano was one of my favorite hockey players ever. I loved Mike Modano, and he is a former Red Wing great, as we all know. Mike Modano is also, to me, like a class act, and I love this video tribute. Have a look.
Patty, congratulations on becoming the American-born point leader. I knew at an early age in your career you'd be the one chasing this number down, and here we are today. Your skill level, the ability to shoot the puck, pass, make plays, be creative, your shootout goals, how we got Showtime, but more importantly, your influence on American-born players. Clayton Keller, the Hughes brothers, Cole Caulfield, they all wanted to be Patrick Kane growing
Auston.
up. And here we are. I couldn't be more proud for you. I hope you have a great night. All the best to you and your family. Continue on and make this number harder for the next guy. All the best, bud. Take care.
And
Did
Mike,
Stars fans barf in their mouth when you said Red Wings great?
oh, I'm sure they did. I'm sure he barfed in his mouth. He's like, yeah, I really enjoyed my time with the Red Wings.
Man, Mike Modano
I love Mike Modano.
played most of his hockey through the 90s and early 2000s. He played 1,500 games minus one, plus another 176 in the playoffs. Can you put his face on the screen?
I know.
I got to tell you, that's a good face.
He could still play.
Oh, yeah.
Like, considering, like, yeah, he's in great shape, but like,
You could still play.
guys who play as much as he did are usually covered in the most haggard shit.
Busted.
And this guy's still a model.
Yeah.
Like, he was
Bill Weasley. They're usually Bill Weasley after the werewolf attack in Harry Potter.
Yeah, he's 55?
Yeah. And he got that many points in the dead puck era, Steve.
55.
Yeah.
Fuck right off.
Yep. Yep.
Some people just win the lottery, eh?
Yeah. He's the best. He's the best.
1,370 points, 74 points, almost exclusively in the dead puck era.
I also want to do a quick shout out to our VIP episode that came out today. Big, long discussion about the Bill Belichick Hall of Fame thing. And I just wanted you guys to know that, it does feel like the bad guys are winning, and that things are going bad. And I also wanted to add to that true love is dead, because Bill Belichick and Jordan Hudson have officially broken up.
Is it official?
Yeah.
Did she announce it?
No, but TMZ's reporting it.
No, I need her to say
You
it.
need her to say it.
I need a Jordan Hudson video on Instagram.
Is that how she says her name?
No, it's Jordan, but it's spelled Jordan. Because in every way of her life, she seems to be the worst. I need an Instagram video of her so we can play it on next VIP. Announcing the breakup. And then I need to see the parties happening at North Carolina, that she will no longer be on the field while they're playing and practicing.
Come on, raise up. That's
Oh, wait.
so bizarre.
Oh, no. I think, you know what?
Did you misinformation?
Oh,
us
no.
I misinformation you.
Damn it, Adam.
Still together.
True love is back on.
Patty, are you surprised?
Yes.
Adam misinformationed us.
Never.
Oh,
No.
yeah.
Can I run you down some of the games that happened last night with some of the teams just before we go here? Because I thought there was a lot of interesting stuff that happened in the NHL yesterday, and I didn't want to.
Leafs?
I didn't want to miss it. One, the Penguins. They keep winning. Dominated the Blackhawks last night. Put up 42 shots. Beat them 6-2. Adam, do you have anything to say about the Penguins, who are going to make the playoffs and maybe do some damage because they have Sidney Crosby? Is Kyle Dubas deserving here's my actual question. Is Kyle Dubas deserving of the GM of the Year award?
Oh, I think that was a Josh Yohe tweet. Man.
In August, we sat here and we said one team is selling. And that was the Pittsburgh Penguins.
They've done an amazing
job. And we sit here on January 30th and one team looks really good. There's a bunch of teams that look really good. But one of the teams that look really good is the Pittsburgh Penguins. What do we do? Give them the award?
There's a lot of GMs deserving of the award, but I think the one who deserves it the most is the GM of the team I cover.
Oh, no. Jeez.
I don't give a damn. Keeps taking shots at Leaf fans. Here's a little medicine for you. Dubas has done a really good job. He's done a very, very, very good job.
Dan Muse was a great hire.
Yes.
Really great hire. And, plays. And again, Dan Muse makes me, again, I don't want to say it too loudly before the Olympics, but what the fuck was going on with Mike Sullivan?
Yeah. This season, as we mentioned last episode, is an indictment on Mike Sullivan.
Yeah. And the type of game he plays and whatever. Anyway.
It's amazing what a few saves will do. They've gotten a few saves
from that great goalie that can always carry a hockey team, Stuart Skinner.
Jari was great for them. They moved off of him, and then Skinner's been great for them.
Yeah. Skinner is the up and down goalie. He is going to have a hot month and then a poor month.
So is Jari.
He's hot right now, and that's all you can hope for.
Mm-hmm.
Other game. If we're on Stuart Skinner, I think it's perfect to go to the other game because Leafs played late. There's opportunity to watch other games and stuff during that 7:00 window. The Edmonton Oilers Sharks game was the most Edmonton Oilers game that's ever happened. They go down 3-0 to the Sharks very early in the first period. They end up winning the game 4-3.
It's so funny. I didn't know that until I saw your screen because I was getting texts from people who were at the game going, oh my God, the Oilers are getting their ass kicked. And I was like, yeah, but it's the Oilers and yeah, but it's the Sharks.
Mm-hmm.
The Sharks, for everything that I love about them, have a hard time holding a lead. And the Oilers love erasing a lead.
And I wanted to shout out the OT winner, goal scorer, Zach Hyman, who has been on an absolute tear.
Canadian Olympian.
They come all the way back from that 3-0 deficit. And like you said, they were getting their ass kicked all game. That 4-3 comeback doesn't happen until the third period where they put up 3 unanswered. And then Zach Hyman scores the OT winner to win that game. Amazing comeback for the Oilers. Zach Hyman, since December 11th, is the league leader in goals. He has 20 goals since December 11th. Second on the list is Connor McDavid with 18.
My God.
He has 20 goals, 10 assists, 30 points. Connor McDavid since December 11th, 18 goals, 32 assists, 50 points.
Holy shit.
He is an alien, but Zach Hyman also playing really well. No one scored more goals than him.
Wow.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, put him on. Put him on. If Point's not going, Hyman's going.
So the question of that game, is that the replacement?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
I think that would be a more egregious snub than Jason Robertson if Canada didn't take him.
Yeah, I mean, you can bring McDavid's line mate.
Yeah, I think you bring him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this ain't a Chris Kunitz Crosby situation. This guy's great.
No.
Not that Kunitz wasn't very good, but you know what I'm saying.
Did Kunitz ever score that many points in that range?
Hell no.
No. Oh my God. No.
Great player, crazy career. I think he has 5 cups, 4. It's okay to say Zach Hyman's better.
Yeah.
Okay, so we did Dubas, we did Hyman, and then the last story out of the games last night is the Are We Worried? The Colorado Avalanche dropped a game to the Montreal Canadiens where the Montreal Canadiens looked like the better team the whole time.
Actually, the Avalanche looked way better because they were wearing their Nordiques jersey, so I don't know what you're talking.
The revenge of the Nordiques game, I was happy that Montreal won.
Yeah, me too.
They own them because don't come back to Quebec with those jerseys.
Yeah.
That was good that Montreal did that. But since January 4th, the Colorado Avalanche are worse than the Toronto Maple Leafs.
That's
in the 12 games they've played since January 4th, they have 4 wins, 6 losses, and 2 ties. 10 points. That is the 27th least amount of points since January 4th.
And Brock Nelson's been scoring lights out.
January 4th. And Brock Nelson has been scoring. Hasn't helped. Are you concerned at all?
Goaltending's bad.
The only teams below Colorado in that span in terms of getting points, Colorado has 10, as I said. Philadelphia has 8. Calgary has 8. St. Louis has 7. The Rangers have 5. And the Canucks have 4. Those are all garbage-ass teams. And then Colorado's sitting right with them.
They've been so good for so long.
You're allowed to have a cold streak.
Yeah, I would say if they come out of the Olympic break like this, now I'm worried because I think their best players' minds are elsewhere.
And they're tired.
I
I will give them that.
I
I will
also-
not give the leap.
Everyone's
there
tired,
has
though.
to be an element with the guys who are Olympic bound, except for Nathan McKinnon because he's out of his mind. But there has to be an element of I just don't want to get hurt. There has to be. There
Do you
has.
think guys around the league aren't going 100%
It's in the
because
back.
they're
Of their,
protecting themselves?
it's in the back of their mind.
And even if it's subconscious, they're not going as hard because they can't risk an
It
injury.
has to be in the back of their mind. Has
That's
to.
fascinating. I clutched my pearls when I saw Auston Matthews go down last night.
Of course.
Of
course. Dear
Actually, I
goodness, Team America.
Listen, if he was sitting out the rest of the year, I wouldn't hate it.
But I
Force him
would
to sell.
I would feel bad for him to not get that chance
No,
to
you
go to
want
the
him there.
Olympics.
You want him?
How about there's 3 Leaf games left before the Olympics? Willie hasn't played in how many weeks, and he's going anyway.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be stoked about that. I'm supposed to be happy for you.
The rumor is he's playing Saturday, tomorrow.
He was practicing yesterday.
Okay.
So yeah, but be open to that. He's gonna play. He hasn't not played yet. Like, don't be pre-mad yet.
We'll
Like,
see how he looks.
I get what you're saying.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm just saying, if he plays and he looks good,
Also, they're selling. You know what? Fill your boots.
that's what I'm saying. Like,
do whatever you want.
if he comes back and doesn't,
as opposed
the rest
to
of the
what?
year, who cares?
It's William Nylander. Do whatever you want.
Is it
like
about-
as opposed to what?
Is it a middle finger to the fan base if Willie sits out until game 1 for Sweden?
Did you mean to say that?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It's a
clever.
joke.
That's
Clever.
the joke.
Yeah.
Hey Jesse, explain the joke.
Can you explain it?
Is it a middle finger to the fan base if William Nylander sits out till game 1 of Sweden?
It is a bad look.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, I do too. Which is why he's playing.
Yeah.
And hey, great team to come back against.
I think
Vancouver.
he has to get into at least a couple games here just to make it not look a sketch.
Yeah, I agree.
Cool.
All right. Nobody's worried about Colorado.
No. No. If they're bad coming out of the Olympic break, then yeah. But until then, let's be honest. There's a lot of guys who, like, forget the guys who are going to the Olympics. If you're on a first place team, oh man, you're thinking about that warm beach in Cancun.
I love that.
Oh, yeah. And last note, actually, there's 4 things. This is the last one. Carson Soucy scores first goal in the Rangers-Islanders game last night.
Very funny.
Palat and Susie have
Fantastic
both
stuff.
scored. What the fuck? Darche?
Fantastic stuff. Matthew Darche.
That's GM of the year. You wanna
There you
talk
go.
GM of the year, Josh Yohe.
Oh, my God.
Look in your division, dude. And listen, I like this rivalry with Josh. I think it's fun.
Is it a rivalry or is
Yeah,
it?
he seems to not like it that as much as I do. I'm loving
I
this.
think it's the 2 of you is shouting into the wind on this podcast, and then Adam engaging in Twitter drama.
Oh, dude, I love this. Are you kidding? He's mad at us because we dared to suggest that if the Penguins miss the playoffs 3 years in a row, that might be curtains on Sidney Crosby in Pittsburgh because it's ridiculous. And then he wrote an article saying, "You guys don't know Sid. You don't know him like I do." Fair enough. I don't. And listen, it's all nebulous anyway because they're going to make the playoffs this year. I think they got to get into the top 3 in the division though. They could still miss. My point is this: if you want to have a little bit of beef, I love it. I love it as long as it's not like we don't make it personal or anything like that. But GM of the year for Kyle Dubas, like again, I don't hate Kyle. He's got blind spots, and I have severe criticisms of what he's done in Pittsburgh so far to this point and what he did in Toronto. But GM of the year is Matthew Darche, A, B, and C. Whatever we thought the Penguins were, we thought the Islanders were tenfold.
Bringing in the Leafs head of sports science actually kind of gives Dubas a few extra points in my
There
my
you
eyes.
go. Because he loves this guy.
Will you have Josh on this program?
Sure, absolutely. I'd love to. And it's not like I don't have like a hate if I go at somebody for their opinion, people go like, and this goes for anybody. It's not because I don't like you or the city you come from or the team you cheer for. I disagree with you.
Yeah, I hate when people take sports opinions like personally.
Yeah.
Like we're talking about fucking laundry.
Totally.
a bunch of players, you know,
Dude,
like the crest and
if
jerseys.
if you don't like the way
Laundry.
if you don't like the way I
Like that
deliver
one?
that message, that's fine.
Okay, they're Bud Selig.
You like that one?
If you don't like the way that I'm kind of loud and obnoxious and don't like, that's fine. That's cool. I don't need you to like me personally, but it's not personal. It's like
That's the thing. Yeah.
I don't care if you like me personally. If we're having fun debates, that's good. Debates are fun. That's why we do this. I love having debates with Steve and Jesse. Love it. Fucking love it. If we're yelling at each other and we're just diametrically opposed, fuck yeah. This is great. Except for Steve, who's giving me the finger right now.
There you go.
I don't know, but I disagree with that opinion. It's Matthew Darche. Matthew Darche. Also, like, get into the playoffs first. Like, I hate to say it.
GM of the year is the Cup.
Yeah, but get into the playoffs. Get there first before we start making steps like that. Is that fair?
Steve, to close where we started this show, I found where you are in Black Aces. Quote there. That's it.
Oh, thank you for this, Jesse. That's actually why my dog's name is Iggy. Popular YouTuber Steve Dangle said. That's here.
Did you follow that up with "I am a black man and belong in this book"?
Oh, and my dog's dead.
The Steve Dangle Podcast. Follow the guys on Twitter at Steve_Dangle, at Adam WYLDE, and at Jesse Blake. Connection complete.